No, it's official. So,
Perfect. Awesome. So do you want to do the intros here, Matt? Typically,
intro.
I always do it. And while you do your chatbot thing.
I'll do it, and then I'll do the chatbot thing. So we'll go there. So, yeah, we are live this week, Whiskey Thursday. Welcome. We have our special guest, Austin Dixon, sales funnel. Thank you. You, sales funnel expert, voted one of the top 30, was it Sales Funnels Builder or ClickFunnels Builders?
Yep, ClickFunnels designers.
That is awesome. That is awesome. So we have him
Matt,
on the show.
He told me he was in the top 5, and that's why we should invite him on the show.
I was in the original top 30, and then ClickFunnels picked up a few of us for like a project down the road. So then it was like this weird balance of, is it top 30? Is it top 10? What is it? So I just say top 30.
Top 30. Why not? Right? You can prove that one much easier. So.
Good enough. That's good enough. I mean, there's thousands of funnel builders, right? So at least you're in the top 30.
Yeah, there you go.
See, I'm a funnel builder as well. I've got the t-shirt. As long as you have the t-shirt, right? You're a funnel builder.
That's all that matters. If you can slap together a button on a page, I count it.
That's right.
Yeah, I never got my Funnel Hackers t-shirt. Like I thought I would, but I don't know what I did.
You're not a funnel builder.
Dude, you've seen my ClickFunnels account. How many? I built way more than you did. I never finished them, but I built a lot of them in the beginning. So that was, yeah, it's interesting because the further along you get, the more you start to know. And then like you find somebody like Austin in his group and you can sit there and go through the content. And you're like, oh my gosh, this makes so much sense. Like when you're brand new, like you're like, oh, I just got to figure out how to design this thing and put it together on the page. But then once you start to get it, you're like, oh, this makes a lot of sense.
For sure.
Yeah. And I think, the other thing too, so a couple of things. First of all, Whiskey Thursday is a place where we can have fun, talk about anything, have some drinks, get Matt drunk, get our guests drunk, and then hopefully reveal some secrets. So for people that are watching, and if you're brand new here to Whiskey Thursday, if you stick around, typically we get through, half a bottle of whiskey, I drink wine, and then halfway through we start, showing screenshots, revealing secrets. So you want to stick till the end for sure. So that's the first thing. Second thing, this is a real estate related group. Typically we talk about real estate marketing, but we decided to invite Austin because Austin took one of our course funnel, dissected the hell out of it inside of his group for an hour. In fact, I think you were live for about 4 hours that day. I joined the group, I took a look, and I honestly, I'll tell you, the stuff you were sharing inside of that group, it was absolutely, it blew my mind. Like there were some things you talked about that I never thought about, and just your knowledge of how to put together a funnel and sell a product was unbelievable. Obviously, you've studied this over and over again. You've learned from the best. Matt tells me you're working side by side with, I don't know his name, but
Stephen Larson. You will be working side by side with Stephen Larson, who's also another way up there.
So for those of you that don't know who Stephen Larson is, he
used to be Russell Brunson's funnel builder over at ClickFunnels. So worked there for a few years, built hundreds and hundreds of funnels for Russell, and then about a year and a half ago, jumped out to do his own thing, and he's crushing it. So yeah, I'm moving up to Boise in about 2 weeks' time to work with him full time.
That's gonna be awesome.
So yeah, so based on that 1 hour of I guess crash course on how to build a proper course funnel. And all the details you went through, both Matt and I were just absolutely blown away by all the information, everything that you share. And we say, you know what, this guy's got to come. And I think you had big drinking that night too. So, this guy's perfect for Whiskey Thursday. Let's bring him on. Let's talk about, funnels. And I know like a lot of us here, and I think we were talking about this before the show, that, a lot of us are using lead forms, chat bots. We're getting away from landing pages and building out funnels for real estate. However, there are still a lot of people inside of this group that are offering courses. They're thinking about it. They're looking to, build that. Some of them are using ClickFunnels. And so I think this is a great opportunity for those people to learn a thing or two about, how to build a proper funnel for what do you call it? Info products, right? Or
yeah, info products. I call them, infopreneurs, people who sell their knowledge and expertise online.
Right. So, awesome. Welcome, Austin. Thanks for taking some time here today to sit down with us and talk about this.
And I just pinned your group inside of the comments. So if you guys want to check out his group, go ahead and check that out. We stumbled upon, I found you because people, every time somebody talks about webinars, they tag you in ClickFunnels. And so that's how I found you. And then I saw you had a group and I was like, okay, so I'll check that out. And then I'm in there one day and you were doing a live. It was like 3 hours, a 3-hour live or something like that with wine. And so I'm like, wait a sec. I like this guy.
This are people.
Right? These are people. And so that's when I was like, all right, you got to check out our funnel. Let me know what your thoughts are, because you were going through other people's funnels and helping them and whatnot. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Shane, you got to get in here. You got to check this out. I'm messaging Shane. It's like 11 o'clock on a Friday night. Of course, we're both, home. So
Shane squeaked on by because he didn't give me his email, but you spoke highly of him, so I was like, let's let him in. Let's get him in here.
I didn't even notice the email field. I just popped in my information. I'm like, let him get in here. What the hell is he doing to my funnel?
That was the best part. I'm like, Shane, he's going through our funnel. He's like, he's what? So it was pretty funny.
So two things about it. So anybody that's part of the student program, obviously, or anybody that's visited that landing page, obviously, they've seen it. People that have opted into it. And the reality is I wear the t-shirt, but I'm no funnel builder. I've been using ClickFunnels for 2 years, but it's like, I use it to slap pages up together. It's easy.
Right.
I can throw stuff together really, really quickly. And that's the extent of it. But there's a lot that goes behind. There's a lot of psychology that goes behind this. There's a lot of, the way you were explaining it on the live, like you really need to, figure out who your client is, figure out what product you're selling to those clients, and then build your funnel around that, which was really interesting. And what ended up happening after that live, when you decided to go out, I think you went out and bought tacos or something. And I can remember that was it. Your 4-hour live was over. You had gone through our funnel. And I remember thinking to myself after that live, it's like, and I think Matt even messaged me. It was like, oh shit, we've got to change everything.
Well, I'm sorry, and I'm also not sorry.
Right.
So, but at the end of the day, that funnel that you went through, I mean, it has sold 175 courses so far to date, which has been pretty good. It is, it was always in beta. But obviously we want to improve it, and I'm sure anybody that's selling courses or thinking about putting this together, they're always looking to improve what they're doing to increase their conversion rates, because that's more money, right?
Yeah. So. And that's a great point, because for so long as I was getting into the funnel building game, once again, I used to be a web designer, somehow tricked the ClickFunnels team into thinking I could actually build funnels and that I knew what they were all about. But luckily I could just make them look pretty. And so when I first started building funnels, it was more so, hey, let's, I was trying to build out my own products, trying to launch my own membership. And I remember for so long, I wasn't making money because I wasn't putting offers out there. So, what you just said is perfect, that it doesn't need to be perfect. Get something out there, like make sure people will pay you for it. And then long-term, that's when we dive into the super geeky conversion hacks and stuff like that to really optimize the funnel. So
right. So
let's welcome everybody who's here real quick.
Oh, sure, yeah, for sure.
We got Austin. Well, Austin, yeah, Austin's here. Alina, Chip, Jimmy, Lisa, Emiliano. What's going on, everybody? Lee, Derek, Amanda, Christian, Chris, Haraj. Harjad. I hope I said it right. Probably not, but anyways, Pat, Spencer, Shay, what's going on, everybody? If you're watching live, let us know, are you using ClickFunnels currently? Yes or no? Or actually, are you using landing pages as well? So if you're not using ClickFunnels, are you using another landing page software? Because we're curious. And actually, we already have a question about that. So that's cool. And if you're watching live, hashtag live in the comments below. If you're watching the replay, hashtag replay in the comments below. Vanessa just joined. What's going on, Vanessa? But anyways, getting back to it. What were you saying, Shane? I just want to put this on you. No, I'm just kidding.
I was saying, so I can't, when you interrupt like that, I lose my train of thought. So actually, but no, so I remember, I was just kidding. So one of the, something that comes up a lot. So first of all, you use ClickFunnels, right?
I do, yeah.
Primary, like almost exclusive. I'm guessing exclusively. Right?
Exclusively. I'm pretty biased because I understand that no technology is perfect. So yeah, once again, got into the funnel building world with ClickFunnels. Obviously love the culture behind it, whatnot. Is it a perfect software? Absolutely not. But yeah, I kind of bite the bullet on the bugs.
Right. So let's really quickly, because there's a lot of haters out there. I mean, there's a lot of people out there. It's like, screw ClickFunnels, go to, there's some of the competitors that are cheaper. They're better. I don't know if they're better or not because I've never used them. Let's talk a little bit about ClickFunnels and what, why you've kind of stuck with it. Before you get into that, I'll tell you why I've stuck with it, because first of all, that's what I learned. And I can put a page up in 5 minutes. Like it's like there's nothing else that I've been able to use to understand and be able to put up a page really, really quickly, throw up a button, put up an order page and start collecting money from it. And then of course the affiliate side has always been an attractive part of that business as well. And I think, a lot of marketers that are using ClickFunnels will probably agree with that as well. So, but why don't you dive in a little bit into like why you're, sort of leaning towards more ClickFunnels than some of the other platforms?
For sure. Yeah. I think, I think the obvious answer is obviously I've bought into the culture a lot. My community in the online marketing space is the ClickFunnels community. That's the domain I play in. Kind of taking a look at the software, like you said, I think it's really easy to use once you get your hands dirty and understand how to use it. Super easy to slap together pages. And once again, the common notion is like, oh, I need a crazy funnel. It needs to look good. And it's like, no, you need something that has a good offer that you can get in front of your people and you can start generating leads and making money from. Aside from that, I really look at, I'm a Russell Brunson diehard. I study all of his stuff, look through all of his funnels, read all of his books. And so, like I said, take everything I say with a grain of salt. Might be a little bit biased, but I also look for, with ClickFunnels, Russell's doing the thing each and every day. He's using his own software. He's using ClickFunnels to, crazy scale his business. And you just don't see that with the other softwares out there. They're all great, Kartra, Lead Pages, whatever you're using, they all accomplish the goal that most people are trying to get at. But I really respect and value Russell because he's in the trenches each and every day using his software, not only to make money and grow his business, but also to like educate and teach people how to use the software. So it's I look at that and it's just like, hey, that's the type of person and entrepreneur and marketer that I want to be. Is like, if I'm teaching something, I want to be behind the scenes doing it as well. I think Russ is a perfect example of that.
Makes sense. Yeah. You don't see that. You'll actually see on other landing page software, sometimes they don't build their landing page for their software on their software.
Yeah.
So that's kind of interesting. We do have a question from Jimmy. Basically, he says, I love the funnel concept. I can't stand the subscription model. And the software seems buggy when I've used it. Well, we addressed the bugginess. You got to take the good with the bad. So help me understand why I should not use something like WordPress landing pages or plugins or other page builder tools for funnels, or is there something else I'm not getting here or I'm not understanding?
For sure. Yeah. It's funny because I used to, when I first jumped into online business, I was actually a web designer and I would build my clients' websites on WordPress. And one of the things I'm super keen on these days as an entrepreneur and a marketer is speed. Speed is really the name of the game. You look at the people who are succeeding and they move fast. They don't hesitate. They, have an idea, they go build it, they go sell it and iterate and refine from there. For me, the reason, like direct comparison, WordPress versus ClickFunnels was built for funnels. It was built to generate leads, generate sales, built for direct response marketing. Whereas WordPress was built as a blogging platform. And so kind of the nature of it isn't as, quick and as easy to build direct response marketing funnels with. Subscription model, that's just how software is. I know a lot of people complain about the price and whatnot. Literally since, I think I was on the $97 per month plan for like 2 months. And even when I wasn't making, great money in my business, I was like, shit, I'm just going to go to the $297 per month plan because I'm someone who values simplicity. So I keep all of my, email marketing under there as well. And at the end of the day, sometimes I'm lazy So it's like, if I can have everything under one roof and make my job easier and way less stress-free for connecting everything and all these different moving parts, it's like, shit, just throw it under one roof and let's go.
So you're actually using the email system through there as well?
Yeah.
So
actually,
something like SendGrid or Mailgun or something like that? Or
about a year and a half ago, ClickFunnels partnered up with SendGrid. So they actually have a native SMTP integration that you can use if you have their $297 per month plan. So yeah, once again, like everything for me is just under the ClickFunnels roof.
Okay. Yeah, because we looked at that and we were having the hardest time figuring it out, setting it up. Shane,
yeah, and
I'm sure
I
you
think
can speak to that. You were like,
sure, but
I'm not touching this thing.
Yeah, it kind of goes back to this speed thing, right? Where it's like, okay, you know what? I just need stuff now, right? So like, I know ActiveCampaign. I've been using it for a long time. I know it, right? So, we use the $300 a month package. And the only reason why we use it is two reasons. One of them is because we need more funnels. We're constantly building funnels. We're duplicating them. We've got client stuff. We got our own stuff. I think we have to have at least a dozen funnels just for products. And we need the pages as well, because the $99 one. But the other side, like, we also use the action funnels, or it's not the action funnels. It's the it's part of Actionetics.
Yeah.
Like, basically, when somebody purchases something, it starts to handle all the steps, right?
Yeah.
I just couldn't get the email side of it working properly. I tried, I messed around with it for an hour. I'm like, screw that. I don't have time for this. I'm just going to go ahead and use ActiveCampaign because I have an account and I can figure it out. And, I know how it works, right? Yeah. I like the way the automation, that's my preference. If I could get everything under one roof and could get training or sat down and figured it out, then I probably would, just rather use Actionetics and
totally
stick with that.
And I think part of it too, I try not to be naive in this space. I've only been in the online business space for coming up on 3 years now. And so when I really looked at it, I came across ClickFunnels when they were, blowing up, becoming the go-to player in the space. And so for me, I really believe in the ClickFunnels team to iron out the kinks in their software long-term. So for me, it was like, hey, what is the platform I want to build my business on 5 years, 10 years down the road? And so for me, it's like, I'm not doing millions of dollars right now. I'll put up with the bugs in the meantime, because once again, I think just with where they're going and whatnot, long-term, they'll fix the little shit, hopefully. And I'm putting my hope in that. So
makes sense.
It could come back to bite me in the ass, but we'll see.
I will say this about ClickFunnels, and like, for anybody that's watching here, like, I think a lot, like, I've used Instapage, I've demoed, the Builderall. I used that for a little while, and that's.
I used Lead Pages for a little bit too.
Oh my god, that Builderall stuff was brutal. Like, when they first came. Anyway, I don't want to go there.
A 2-tier affiliate program.
Anyways, but it's like, again, when we do our master classes, and I can take one funnel and just duplicate it, change up a bunch of words, and it's done. And it's like, it just works, right? Like that part of it just works. When you start getting into the more complicated things, and there are little, like every once in a while, this thing really irritates me because it was a bug that I brought up with them a little while ago. Yeah. When I changed the background color, it doesn't actually change the background color for the page. Yeah. Like, there's little things like that aggravate the hell out of me. I'm like, come on, guys. Like, I'm paying $300 a month here. Fix this. And then yesterday, like, there's a bunch of, like, yesterday I tried to download the a contact list for I don't know, one of our funnels, and I was looking for something, and it took 4 hours to basically get me the CSV file, like, for 190 members, right? And I was just like, oh, guys, come on.
It's the little things that are just like, oh, come on.
Exactly. Right? But then again, like, there are a lot of good things too. First of all, the community is awesome, right? Mm-hmm. Every time we have a win with ClickFunnels, we just go into the ClickFunnels group, post it, and it's like, we get 50 new members to
more leads.
It's like more leads, right? And so there's that. At this point,
we should go post that, like, we have Austin live.
We should have. Oh man, I didn't even think about that.
I'll let you do that. You always take the risks with the post where it might be a little bit
So there's that side of it, and the other side of it is we don't even pay for ClickFunnels. that's the beauty of like our affiliates.
For sure.
We've had enough affiliates now that are basically paying our $300 a month. Matt, by the way, you didn't know that, but we just I think we had enough affiliates now that. And then they have programs, and they've got Funnel Scripts is an unbelievable product.
Mm-hmm.
I know Matt's used that.
Yeah, I've got Funnel Scripts. Shane's got Funnel Scripts.
Yeah, that's just a great product. So there are a lot of good things about it too.
The one I haven't gotten recently, sorry to cut you off, Shane, but the one I haven't gotten recently, I'm curious if you have, is Traffic Secrets. Did you pick that up?
I don't have it, no.
No? Okay. It's one that I'm really interested in.
I've heard it's a good product.
Is it? Okay. I might have to go get that after that.
What's it worth?
It's interesting to me, and this is once again one of the reasons why I look at ClickFunnels and I'm sold on it, is because of all of the products and businesses that have been built off of ClickFunnels. Obviously, that comes with being the market leader and the category king, but it's really cool to see innovators come into a space and build on top of a single platform. So that's something that early on too I kind of caught wind of, and I was like, oh shoot, I see all these different Funnel Scripts, CF Pro Tools from Jamie Smith, all these other products and businesses, and I'm like, dang, like this is creating longevity for the ClickFunnels brand.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, they have got just an awesome story. Like you can go find out more about ClickFunnels any day. Like there's so much out there. All the podcasts, all the information, it's so amazing. And even the books, like .com secrets, expert secrets, like I've got all that stuff. 100%.
Well, that's how I got into all of this was .com secrets. I ended up, I don't know how I found that, but I think it was like I got an ad or something like that. And I ended up like going to the site, downloaded or bought the book, read the book, found Dan Henry. Then I just got part of that community, and that's how I ended up, part of all of this. And the reality is that at the end of the day, we're all making money with this.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you're not using it properly, that's the reality.
Curious, if anybody watching, do you have a ClickFunnels funnel that you use for generating real estate leads? Curious how many people are generating real estate leads with ClickFunnels. Austin, have you worked on real estate related ClickFunnels landing pages and stuff?
I haven't done any. I haven't had any real estate clients myself. One of the guys in my mastermind group last year was a luxury real estate agent he was in Austin, Texas, I believe.
Okay.
So talk shop with him a little bit, but yeah, I haven't done any real estate stuff myself.
Okay. I'm curious if anybody here is using it.
Well, we ended up so again, because of the affiliate program that ClickFunnels has, we're always trying to figure out ways to lure people in. I'm just gonna be totally honest, right? It's like, because people, I mean,
their reality is stellar.
Yeah, I mean, and the reality is that a lot of marketers are not just using ClickFunnels to build out landing pages to generate leads. They're building, landing pages because they've got a course or they've got, other products that they're selling and things like that, right? So, that becomes a really good platform. So, and so if we can bring in people under us, and part of that affiliate program obviously lowers our costs and it gives us, monthly revenues, right? So we actually built out a home evaluation tool inside of ClickFunnels, probably the only one. So Pat, one of our partners, and genius when it comes to coding, built like inside of ClickFunnels. You can go in, type in the address of your home. It brings back it ties into the Zillow API, brings back the value, displays everything.
Ties into the Google API, brings back the picture of your house
as well. But what's really unique about it is it's actually using the ClickFunnels database so that everything is stored inside of ClickFunnels. So then you can actually integrate it with anything else that you want. So that's one thing that we have done with ClickFunnels is we built that out. We haven't used it much. We just it was a fun project for us and to see if anybody else could actually utilize that as well. So
yeah, we've got some cool plans for it in the future here. So stay tuned to that.
Yeah, that's smart.
Let's see. We've got a question. ClickFunnels with IDX integration. Have you ever heard of or seen that?
I have no clue what IDX integration is. I'm not that smart.
Right on. Right on. So Do you have any funnels that are built that you could kind of walk us through and show us like why it works, why it converts, anything like that currently?
Sure. Or particularly lead gen stuff?
Anything you really want to show. I mean, you can show, I think you've got your own course that you built out, right? For webinars and stuff?
I do. I'll start with a little lead gen funnel because this is an area that I see a lot of people just overcomplicate the shit out of things. And the reason I say that is because I used to overcomplicate the shit out of things. So these days, you know, any lead gen funnels I run, typically I get like, even with cold traffic, and once again, I'm in the make money online internet marketing space, but the principles apply to any niche that you're in. I keep things so damn simple because simple converts. So here's like literally the structure that I use for every single opt-in page known to mankind. And I picked this up from, do you guys know Alex Becker?
Yep.
Yeah.
Alex Becker. So he had like a free, a PDF guide that I ran across one day of how he gets like 80% opt-in rates to cold traffic. And I was like, wait a second, let me check this out. This is literally the exact structure that he uses. And sure enough, it works. So
if you guys want to see this, you got to comment and like and heart and smash those buttons, all that fun stuff.
Yeah. Also, yeah, let's get some, like literally whatever questions you guys have about ClickFunnels, sales funnels, whether they be lead gen stuff, you know, info product sales, webinars, shoot them down below. And we want to spice things up tonight. So keep us entertained. Keep questions coming and we'll make sure to handle them. So,
there you go.
Yeah, once again, this is literally, I used to like do all the crazy mock-up graphics and have all these crazy things on my opt-in pages. And then I found out like, oh, I want to actually, you know, get 80% opt-in rates as opposed to 30 or 40%.
Wait, what kind of opt-in rates?
I typically get like 70 to 85% with this structure. It's amazing. And once again, think about how simple this is. Like Shane alluded to the fact that you could get this set up 5 minutes flat, super easy. And also if you guys, you know, is it cool if we give free stuff away for people that engage? Sure. If you guys want this lead gen template, what should they comment down below? Like whiskey, comment.
Hashtag Austin Rocks.
Austin Rocks. Hashtag Austin Rocks. And we'll, I'll get you this template. But once again, kind of the structure of this is there's a lot of like little intricacies that go into it. So we're going to geek out for a little bit. First and foremost, this right here, most powerful word in marketing, free. As we all know, as marketers, like humans love free shit. So up here, I just use free and then whatever the thing is that they're getting. Also, if you guys are doing, and this goes for any funnel page, but especially lead gen stuff, make sure that your funnel pages pass what's called the dumb bum test. So what is it? How is it going to improve my life? And how do I get it? Make sure that all three of those things are above the fold. So when the page loads, I see so many funnel pages that like, there's no call to action above the fold. And it's like, yo, you are missing out on conversions there.
Can you define above the fold for anybody who's not familiar with the term?
Yep, 100%. So literally when a funnel page loads, anything that is in the screen view, when that page loads is above the fold. So if someone has to scroll to get to your button, you're missing out. You're missing out on leads. You're missing out on sales. So that's why this structure works so well, because it's simple. It passes the dumb bum test. And once again, the thing is right there that you're trying to get them to do. So up top.
Sorry, Austin, let me add one more thing here, because I see a lot of, I've seen a lot of funnels in my days. And like,
in your days,
in my days,
like you're some old man. My days, I used to see funnels and they were way different.
So for anybody that's watching, just a reminder, my birthday's coming up. I'm going to be 43 this year. Yeah, I'm starting to feel, it's wearing on me. Working with Matt too. Like, I think that's added 10 years. But so what I wanted to add was, but what I want to add to that is make sure that they're mobile friendly, because I see this all the time when you build out your landing page, because you have to build it out on your desktop, and then you're looking at it on mobile. That above the fold thing is all the way down the page, right? And you've got these massive fonts on your page, and then your button's like, this big, and it just looks like garbage. So
no, that's a great point. And especially if you have like and let's check to make sure mine passes the test. It's mobile friendly. Put this on a phone, we're good to go.
Right.
One of the things that I see so often is with long form sales pages, people do not have, let's say, I mean, if you think about how people consume pages and the goal of a sales page, it's to break down objections. So even like on a sales page, typically the last thing you see is an FAQ section. And those FAQs are like really, really important. People read those. Sometimes they just need like a last minute question answered and whatnot. Mm-hmm. The smartest thing you can do is put a freaking button right at the bottom of the page. Because let's say that last FAQ breaks down the last objection that person has. Give them a place. Let's say they're on a phone. Give them a place to click and go back up to the opt-in, go back up to the order form. If they have to scroll all the way back up and it takes them more than 3 seconds, they're gone, they're out. So it's just a really simple thing that you can do in phenomenal point chain of like, make sure that your stuff looks good on mobile, because as we continue to go on, like mobile traffic is only becoming increasingly more popular. Super important for any funnel page.
Yeah, for sure.
And also, once again, if you guys have any questions like about this funnel structure, about anything we go through, shoot them down below so we can get them answered. Headlines, I always say, like, I used to be a terrible copywriter. Like when I was first getting in this game, my copy was absolutely terrible. I didn't know what to do. And as I started studying more copy, I really picked up on the fact that like you can make small changes to your copy that have a big influence on conversions and once again, generating more leads and sales. Headlines, I always say they're the 80-20 of copywriting. So you don't have to be a brilliant copywriter that can sit down and write a huge long sales page in order to grow your business. What you need to get really good at doing is writing super strong and curiosity driven headlines. And going back to, once again, I always try to break things down into frameworks. Like that's all funnels are, is just frameworks. Take the framework and put your flavor into it. And you can see here, like what takes up the majority of this page, it's the headline. So make sure that your headlines obviously show the benefit of what you're giving. And also make sure that they have curiosity to them, because there's nothing more powerful than someone like wanting to scratch that itch and needing to give you their email to do that.
I love it. And if you guys are watching, you should be taking notes on this episode. I know you're probably drinking like us and it's going to come out a little bit goofy, but still take the notes. This is so awesome. I mean, clearly Austin is an amazing funnel builder, or he wouldn't be going to work with Stephen Larson very soon here. So like, do not take this for granted. He is just dropping a ton of gold nuggets, and so make sure that you're enjoying that and taking notes and getting each piece of it.
I love it. Appreciate that. So let's go through this real quickly, because once again, I don't want to like this page looks super elementary, but there's so many little things that go into it. So once again, up top, what is the thing that they're getting? It passes number one of the dumb bum test. What is it? Benefit driven headline that also has curiosity to it. And then what I do for my sub headlines right here is break down objections that my audience has. So for me, obviously I'm giving away a free guide that kind of tells them how we go in and survey our audience to figure out what offer to build. And then the objections that they have is, oh my gosh, like maybe I don't have the time. I don't want to work any harder. And so it's, hey, this is going to help you escape the hustle mode that you're currently in and automate your marketing. So it breaks down that objection of, I don't have the time for this. So benefit-driven headline, break down objections. You can see right here, I just use a super simple, like this is just, it's like the Facebook like button. You can just put your Facebook page URL in here.
Yeah, somebody already asked, what social proof feature are you using? That was the first thing I asked when I saw you doing this in your group, last week or whatever. I'm like, what are you using? That is so cool.
For sure. So this is, we'll drop a link to it down below, but I think if you just Google like Facebook like button, it'll be one of the first things that pops up. And yeah, you literally just put your, right here, like button, and you just put your Facebook page URL inside of the little thing they have, and it'll spit out a code that you can put on your funnel pages. So super simple, but
hashtag gold.
hashtag gold. The best form of social proof in today's online world is Facebook comments, things like this, the little Facebook Live, because Facebook dominates, like easily dominates our world, and humans think that everything on Facebook is true. So like screenshot your Facebook comments, like testimonials, case studies, stuff like that, and slap them onto your funnel pages for social proof, because it's like the highest converting social proof that you can have in today's online space. So super simple, but once again, very intentional as well.
And not only that, sorry if I can add to that, Austin,
yeah.
I'm sure this, like I'm guessing you're using this, like it looks like you're probably using it as part of an ad or something. You're driving traffic to this page from Facebook on top of it. So when they hit this and they actually see a Facebook thing on your page,
yeah,
you know, it kind of maybe
congruency.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yep. And that's huge with, you know, funnels, but also just the customer journey in general. Leading someone from point A to point B to point C, so on and so forth, is making sure that you have congruency, using the same fonts, using the same colors, using the same elements throughout. Seems super simple, but at the same time, like if you don't have that congruency, there's going to be drop off. People are going to be, humans will feel like it's not congruent, and some people will drop off from it. So yeah, great point.
Yeah, and one of the things I started doing in a lot of my landing pages is using like white backgrounds, the Facebook gray and the Facebook blue. Yeah. I started using. So if we're driving traffic to those landing pages, that was something I started using a lot, and I started seeing a lot more opt-in rates. Not that I'm not doing maybe as much testing as you are. It just felt like it looked better.
For sure. You must be a marketer or something if you're testing.
Well, you are. We try to test a little bit, as much as possible. I'd love for you to break down the headline a little bit. I mean, I know that, you know, .com Secrets goes over this and things like that, but I just like to get your input on what you put together here.
I think if we stop interrupting him, he might do it.
Oh, okay. So.
No, this is. I'll go as deep as you guys want me to go. Honestly, this headline, I don't even love this headline too much, but it converted well, so I kept it.
Love that. I love that you kept something you didn't love because it converted. Like so many people get married to an idea and they won't leave it even though it's costing them money.
100%. Yeah, I'm here to make money and impact as many people as I can. And so even if I don't love something, if it's working, I'll keep it. That's the name of the game. So I've learned to write my copy. Yeah. This is marketers copy right here. We have weird quotes for no reason. We capitalize the words for no reason. It's just, once again, I studied high converting copy and I just saw patterns. So little things like quotes around something that, like, okay, what's the funnel framework? Like, you want to always get your consumers to ask, like, okay, wait a second, what is that? Like, I clearly need to find out more about this because I'm curious about what the funnel framework is. I better click this button to download the free guide. And then typically kind of the headline framework that I always start with is how to get this big benefit without the biggest fear that your audience has. So that's kind of the framework that I used here is, you know, here's how to create high ticket sales funnels without guessing what your audience wants to buy. I think that's one of the biggest, I polled my audience and they told me that one of the biggest things they struggle with is knowing what to sell their audience. So I said, hey, look, I will literally teach you exactly how I survey my audience to know exactly what they want to buy from me. So once again, I try to use, good marketers use data to fuel their copy, to fuel their offers. And that's exactly what I did here. I just said, hey, when people enter my Facebook group, I say, what's your biggest challenge about, you know, building a sales funnel for your business? And they said, well, shit, I don't know what my audience or wants to buy from me, or I don't know what to sell to people. So I kind of built out this headline surrounding that objection. And then one of the other big things that I got was, you know, I don't want to slave away working 16 hours a day, building funnels and trying to automate my marketing. So I said, hey, look, this is literally going to help you escape hustle mode because you're going to know exactly what to sell to them. So does that help diving into it?
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to also bring up something that you said about your group as well, where you've actually So customer research is a huge thing when you're especially getting into this, and you want to monetize, you know, your followings, and you want to reach your ideal clients and all that. And what I find really interesting is you actually used your group to figure out what people wanted as they were entering it. And it's actually something that we've done as well. So, you know, for people out there that are trying to figure out, like, how do I, you know, that's great and all, but how do I figure out what my audiences actually want? And this is a great hack to do that. Ask that question before they come into the group, right? And then just make sure guys like me aren't coming in there. Because I think the question to that, I think I said I'm just here because Matt told me to join.
Hey, it's that's why there's exceptions to every rule.
Yeah. But that's a great hack though. If you're building out a group, this is your opportunity to capture their contact information, right? And B, survey them as they're entering the group. Ask those questions, right?
Yeah. I'm really keen on the concept of, like, I think businesses, especially online businesses in today's day and age, I say they're crowd created. Like, it doesn't matter what you like. It matters, you know, who you want to serve and what problems they need solved. So kind of piggybacking off that and just kind of showing you guys once again how much I geek out about the data, because data is what makes money. Here's all of the data that my group has given me. They give me every problem that they have. I use this not only to build out my offers, but I use it to build out my copy so that I can speak their language. I use it to build out my content so that I can literally create content that solves specific problems for my audience. And this is the part that I see like 99% of marketers and business owners skip over, which is why 99% of business owners don't make money and they go out of business. Geek out about the data. Go ahead.
Because this part sucks.
Yeah, it does suck. It takes forever.
It's the worst part of the fun part is putting your shit together and getting it out there as fast as possible so you can rake in all the money that everybody else is posting about, right? I was looking at the ClickFunnels group today. Somebody posted a question like, who's making $5,000 a month on their courses? And I'm looking through the comments like, oh, I do that every day. It's like all these people. And it's like, of course people want to get to that point, but this is the important part of that journey, is getting that data so that you can get to that, right? And you're not like, you're going to waste a lot of time and a lot of money if you don't have the data.
All right, real quick, guys, just jump in. If you guys are watching live, hashtag live in the comments below. If you're watching the replay, hashtag replay in the comments below. And then also, Austin, do you have any access to a client acquisition funnel for agency owners?
For agency owners, client acquisition funnel for agency owners. I don't think I have access.
Okay. I wasn't sure.
Can you steal one from one?
Like, I'm just wondering, like, have you seen, like, do you have any that you've built out in the past, or otherwise maybe we can, I don't know, maybe we could build something, because I think that's what everybody wants, is a client acquisition funnel, as well as something to get real estate leads. But I'm curious, you know, if you're watching, are you a marketer or a real estate agent? Let us know that first. And then we can see, we had one request for an acquisition funnel. So
I love it. My favorite funnel, and this goes for, you know, course sales, membership sales, you're trying to acquire clients, is a webinar funnel. And the reason being is that when I used to run a funnel building agency, AKA I was a freelancer building funnels for other people. And one of the things that I kept running into was, and this was just as much my bad, it was probably more my bad, but I was just taking on anyone and everyone because I wanted to grow my business. I needed to pay my bills, so on and so forth. The reason I love webinar funnels for client acquisition is because webinars, everyone thinks that they're a qualification process, but they're really a disqualification process. Webinars literally bring you the cream of the crop. They bring you the highest quality leads, because those leads sit through 30-minute, 45-minute, 60-minute sales presentation, and then they actively apply to work with you and sell you on why you should, accept them. So it's literally, webinars are so nice because they bring you the top tier, highest quality leads that actively raise their hand and say, wait a second, you have something that can benefit me. I want to talk to you, and I'm interested in paying you for what you have. So I really recommend, once again, like, webinars are really I really believe they're the most proven way to sell online, And in regards to client acquisition, like I think it's the best funnel to get the highest quality clients that are going to make your life easy and help you, grow and scale your business without the stress and hassle of low quality clients.
And that's really interesting, because I think you're seeing this a lot right now where marketers or people that are either pitching courses on client acquisition or they have courses on client acquisition. Everybody's so focused on like, hey, I can book you, 20 appointments a day and get your calendar full. And then you just have to sit on those calls and then pitch your clients. And then, I think that's a really interesting idea or, a possibility here where it's like, no, like use the webinar funnel or the webinar concept to bring in a client, get them to sit through that, and then push them onto an appointment. Because if they're willing to sit through all of that and then book an appointment, those guys are going to be highly qualified.
Super qualified. And
it might fucking cost you $500.
For sure. But yeah, and that's the beauty is, if you're putting people through a webinar, and I like what you said. It's the webinar framework. It doesn't have to be a 60-minute presentation. One of the guys that I study a lot is Joel Irway, who runs the webinar agency. And him and his clients, he's crushing some, what he's calling mini webinars for his clients, getting applications for like $50, $60, $70. And for a 2K, 2,500, 3K client, ROI is massive on that. So once again, it brings you people who, that their pain is deep because they sat through that presentation. If they didn't care about it that much, if it wasn't stressing them out, if it wasn't keeping them up at night, they wouldn't take the time to sit through that presentation. Whereas when they do, and then they apply to work with you, it's like, okay, you and I both know that this is a good fit. Will that be Visa or MasterCard?
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
And I think, part of it is that webinars have been, this is something that, we're building a webinar out. You went through, sort of how to build this out. Anybody that's building courses, they're really moving to, like, they have been moving it towards the webinar style approach. But I think for client acquisition, in terms of marketers bringing on clients for, monthly retainers, they've been kind of avoiding this. And, it hasn't been something that they've thought about or even tried to apply. Certainly not something we've tried. Typically it's like, how many appointments can I get booked in my calendar? I'll hop on a call with them, see if they're a good fit. We'll go through in a 1-hour presentation, and then hopefully they'll pay me some money. I've got to do 30, 40 of these presentations, spend my entire week here to get one client to sign. Like, that's the process right now, right? The idea of putting together a client acquisition retainer-based webinar might be an interesting strategy.
Totally. Yeah. And it's one of the things that I teach in regards to, building out your webinar. It's just a sales presentation is what it is. Would it be helpful if I showed you guys? I have an example of a mini webinar that I could pull up and kind of show you guys how I teach people to build out their webinar.
Sure. Hang on a second. Honestly, like that, the audience here is just, nobody's commenting. We got a couple little comments here and there, and we appreciate it. Jimmy, Olivia's here, Kevin, Pat, Emiliano, are all here. They've commented, they've been engaged, but the rest of you, there's 25 people watching. Like, what's going on here? Do you guys want to see this?
I think it's easy to forget, like, to engage because, like, the content is so good right now. So we're like sitting here, we're just like, and then like, oh yeah, just type something, type 7 in the chat below, whatever,
as I always say, and once again, this is we're here to provide value, but like, I already know this stuff, so I don't need to go through it. I want to go through it if it's going to benefit you guys, but you got to let me know. So
makes sense.
Hashtag show us the gold.
Show us the gold.
Show us the gold. That's awesome. I honestly think people are getting some value out of this. Everybody's commenting now. That's awesome, guys. Hit the like buttons, hit the heart buttons, and get us some engagement here. Again, Austin, really appreciate you popping on, all this value and stuff like that. And for us, for like Matt and I, the timing couldn't be perfect for us because
Couldn't be more perfect.
Yeah, I mean, we launched our V2 version of our beta course, which has done really well. People are very happy with the content. We're transitioning now to, a course model and automating the sales of that, which is how we found you, or how Matt found you. So, for us, even if there's nobody watching, we're cool to sit here for a couple hours.
I love it.
And pick your brain about what's working and what's not working. So
yeah.
Really do appreciate that. We have tons of comments here, guys. Okay, so Austin, reveal some secrets because we got Chip here, Donald, Olivia, Lena, Kevin, Mike, Susan, but Albert is here, Pat, of course, and Ryan. Everybody's looking for more info here.
I love it. I love it, guys. So one of the biggest things I've realized, as I try to become a better marketer, is that all marketing is in sales is breaking down objections. I know some of you on here right now, as I went through this document and we talked about Facebook groups and gathering data, one of your objections was, holy shit, what if I don't have a Facebook group? How do I find this data? So what I'm about to show you will literally cure all of your problems. If you don't have a Facebook group, if you don't have an audience, that's totally okay. This is what I call my webinar hacking process, and it literally expedites the process of building out your marketing message, building out your funnel, all of that fun stuff. So where I typically start is 2 Comma Club, and this is also why I love ClickFunnels, is that Russell threw up this site saying, hey, look at all these marketers that are making a ton of money and doing things correctly. So, if you are someone who you're trying to build out your marketing message, figure out what offer to sell, what I typically do is start here and figure out who has sold something similar to what I want to sell. And then from there, all I do is I go find either their webinar or if they have like a video sales letter. Once again, we're looking for a sales presentation because the framework behind it is typically the same. Literally scroll through here, search for, real estate. There's actually I have a real estate client that just joined. So I think I was looking the other day and there's like 4 real estate people on this page that are really, really good marketers. So go find them and just kind of comb through their marketing material. What I typically do is, and this is like, I always say it pays to geek out. Like you guys can probably tell I geek out about this stuff, but it's because this right here, this is the stuff that makes the money. Like Shane said, it's the stuff that the vast majority of people don't like to do. But it's the stuff that actually moves the needle in your business, is knowing exactly where your prospects are at, what problems they have, so that you can create stuff that solves their problems and charge money for it. So what I do is
sorry, Austin, to interrupt. What questions are you asking here? Because are they all just the same question and you're getting?
That's a great question. I switch my questions up depending on what data I want to gather. So, when I first started the group, it was really about, I was trying to attract people from the ClickFunnels community, talking about, what's preventing you from having a high converting sales funnel in your business. Then I asked, like, what niche do you sell in, so I can kind of tailor content to you. Now these days I ask, like, do you have a webinar for your business? What's your biggest questions about webinars? What's your biggest challenge when it comes to building a funnel for your business? So I'm always testing and tweaking. And once again, it comes down to being a marketer, like being in tune with where I'm at in building my business, what offers I'm trying to build out, and gathering data specifically for that.
So you're changing out, so you're using like your funnel, part of your funnel is your group. So you're getting people inside your group, you're asking 100%. The questions, collecting the data, and then you're changing that question in order to capture different answers so that you can adjust your offers as you're changing your business.
100%. Yep. And
very smart.
Yeah. And it also, like, when I was doing a lot of custom work before, custom funnel building, and I was trying to transition to group coaching. And during that transition, like, I didn't have a ton of data on the people I want to serve. So it was constantly changing these questions to figure out, okay, where's my audience at that's following me? Why are they following me? What problems do they want solved? And how do I create an offer that meets those problems?
Right. Just to address one comment here.
Yeah.
out here. Jimmy says we need more whiskey, and I'm assuming because he wants us to share more details, more secrets. So cheers to everybody. I know I'm drinking out of a cup tonight, but there's definitely some alcohol in there. Whoa, shit.
Oh gosh, Shane.
That yeah. So
Dang
that
it,
went all over my computer. Oh man, what a
Sorry, I was watching the replay because I didn't have the zoom up, so I just had
I told you.
I was a little delayed there.
Remember I said I got to get some pants on? This is why I got to get pants on, because I moved my camera around, right?
Oh man.
Oh shit.
I knew things were gonna get wild tonight.
Yeah, that's not a good thing.
Look what you did, Jimmy. Look what you did.
Yeah, thanks, Jimmy. This guy, man, he comes on our Whiskey Thursday, makes me spill my wine all over my keyboard. Anyways.
That was hilarious.
I think we've had plenty of whiskey tonight. I got to get a rag, but I'll let. Sorry,
it's like when somebody writes the name on the bottom of your solo cup, and you're like, "Is this one mine?" Oops.
I love it.
Stupid thing to do.
Well, this is good. I'm at a good spot here. So once again, as long as we have people on here having a good time engaging with us, I'll make sure to give as many secrets away as I can without just completely taking away all of my own business. How does that sound?
There you go. That seems fair. That seems fair.
Oh, I gotta go get some paper towels.
And the method that you were talking about with asking the questions, are you using? I think was it Ryan Levesque? The ask.
Yeah, Ryan Levesque. Yeah, for sure. When I started really geeking out, like I hate numbers. I'm not a numbers guy. I'm not a data guy. But when I started to I read Ryan's book, Ask. And that's when I realized, like, holy shit, this is what matters. Like, your market will literally tell you how you need to market to them and what you need to build and how you need to sell to them. I need to get better at asking better questions and just literally listening to the market. Whereas before, like, the first info product I ever tried to build was a membership, and spent like 2 months building all the marketing out, building the product out, and then I went and tried to sell it. Guess how much it made me when I launched it?
How much? What was the price of it?
It was at the time it was a $37 per month membership.
Okay, based on the way you said that, I'm going to say $74.
Wow, I'm flattered. I made it was a little over double that. It was $185.
Okay,
nothing to bat an eye out. Like, literally the most embarrassing thing ever. But once again, it was such a good lesson, because I will never build out an offer again that I haven't validated by asking my people what problems they have. So yeah, 100%. Ryan Levesque, if you don't know who he is, go order his book, Ask, and he'll make your business a lot easier.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. 100%. So let's see, where were we?
I'm so distracted by all this.
I'm trying to share the screen. I'm like, let me share. It's your screen. My bad.
I'm distracted by all this wine all over my keyboard.
Shane, you can go get a towel and wipe it up, man.
Okay, I'll be right back, guys. This is crazy.
I love it.
This never happened. Honest, like, Austin, this never happens.
I don't know if I believe you anymore, Shane.
I'll be right back, guys.
Sounds good. What we were going through? We were going through webinar hacking, sales presentations, so on and so forth. So this is, I guess before I go through this, the best way I can distill down marketing for you guys, and I'm sure, once again, this is very elementary, but like, all marketing is moving your ideal avatar from pain to pleasure. So unless you know what those pains are, and unless you know what that desired end state is that they want to get to, you have no clue how to talk to them. And that's exactly what this process will solve. So what I typically do is, once again, I go find successful competitors that are selling similar offers, selling to the exact avatar that I want to sell to. And all I do is I go find either a webinar that they have, or a sales page, a video sales letter, whatever it may be. And then what I do is I will actually get that video transcribed. So I use a resource called Temi. You can just plug in like the video URL, whether it be YouTube or Vimeo, whatever. And you can see here, like, I have dozens and dozens and dozens of video sales letters, webinars transcribed. This right here, Temi is like 10 cents per minute. So for a 60-minute presentation, it's $6. That $6 has the ability to turn into thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars for your business. I kid you not.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the ones I want to pull up is this guy right here, Jacob Euclid, brilliant marketer. I didn't know him before, but I was kind of hacking and researching these mini webinar style sales presentations. And this right here is just brilliant.
This is awesome. I didn't know this exists. This is so cool. I'm going to use this tomorrow.
I kid you not. I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed. I was like a straight B- student in college. I got a D- in Art 101, and I'm pretty sure I only passed because my professor didn't want to see me again. But what I've been keen on being as a marketer and entrepreneur is just a good detective. Like, if you can be a good detective, you can make any amount of money that you want. And that's literally all we're doing here is we're playing detective. We're seeing, okay, what is the market responding to? And how is that marketer talking to that avatar that I'm selling to? And this right here will literally build out your entire marketing message, because once again, all marketing is pain to pleasure. And a good webinar, a good video sales letter, a good sales presentation will identify those pains that your market has, and it'll identify where they want to get to.
Are the notes on the side here, are those your notes, or did they do that for you?
These are mine. So this
is okay. I was like, wait, they do what?
So this is and once again, this is the beauty of being a marketer, being a business owner, building out offers. Is one of the things that my clients get in my program is I'll go through and break down specific webinars or sales presentations, and I'll basically dive deep for the hour-long presentation to give my insights of, oh, here's why that marketer is doing this, here's why they're saying this, so on and so forth. This right here is my study material. I can confidently go into any niche and sell because of this process, if that makes sense. Because 100%. So get a webinar transcribed, get a VSL transcribed, and literally sit through here, and this will map out your entire marketing message, what you need to talk about, how you need to talk about it, so on and so forth. What questions we got from there? Any questions?
Let's see. Look, questions, guys. Get them in the comments, ladies and gents. Let's see. Not yet. Everybody wants to see the gold. What's the quiz software Ryan Levesque had?
Ooh, he has one called, he has one called bucket.io. And then there's also
is it kind of like the same thing you'd use for Google Forms?
Yeah, it's similar. It's just kind of like a smart segmentation software where you can quiz the audience and it puts
his upsell.
Yeah. He has survey. I think it's bucket.io is Ryan's.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
Shane, you missed it. You got to show him, what is it? Temmie.
So yeah, you can get, this is, once again, I just get like webinars and video sales letters transcribed, and I'll, whatever niche I'm selling in. If I'm working for a private client that, the first time I ever did this, I did it for a fitness client. And I had never sold in the fitness niche before. The most competitive space online, health and wellness. And I was like I'm not gonna lie, I was super nervous because I was doing a webinar, I was writing the script, building out the offer. And I had no fucking clue what I was doing, to be honest. I was like, how do I sell in the most competitive space? So what I did is I went and got a couple webinars transcribed, sat through them, and really got a feel for, okay, what has the market been told before? Like, what marketing messages have been thrown at them before? And then how can I position my client differently? What are the pains that I need to address during the webinar? And then what is that desired end state that we need to take them to? And I literally just used those two webinars to build out my client's webinar script. And that webinar went on to do 167K in 11 days. So that was like the light bulb moment for me of, holy crap, like this works. I don't have to be a brilliant marketer. All I need to do is be a good detective. And like, once again, model success. I didn't copy. I didn't go steal the webinar script, and I didn't, use the same stuff.
Say it again. How much?
167K in 11 days.
American?
American USD, those good old American dollars.
Whoa.
And for sure. And that was once again, it was a huge epiphany in my journey as a marketer, because I hadn't done anything like that before. You know, I'd had mild successes, but like all I did was go look. I literally looked at other webinars and said, hey, this is what this avatar has been told before. Here's how I can position my client a little bit differently. Here's the exact pain points we need to address. Here's where we need to take that avatar, and boom, sure enough, it clicked. And I was like, oh shoot, this is how marketing is done.
Dang, that is
wild.
Crazy. I mean, wow. It's just wild. 167K in 11 days from a webinar. Yeah. Now, did you write the whole webinar?
Yeah. So what I did is I built the offer for my client, and then I wrote the outline for the webinar. I wasn't great at copy at this time. Copy is something that I really started, diving into probably about 8 months ago. So what I did is I built the entire outline and kind of, the story. What webinars are just one big story. So I mapped out the story, and then I actually hired a copywriter buddy of mine to go in and make the story sound super sexy.
Okay. So did you use funnel scripts, or you did this all on your own?
100% funnel scripts. Yeah. I mean, Expert Secrets is my Bible these days. It's literally the roadmap for making money online, I believe. So had Expert Secrets by my side, used funnel scripts to build out the webinar, outline and whatnot. And basically what I did is I got on a call with my client. It was about a 2-hour call, and I just went through the perfect webinar wizard with him. One of the things I found with clients is, once again, like, because a webinar is just one big story, and that's all marketing is too, is just one big story. Oftentimes we think our story doesn't matter as marketers. And so it pays to have someone on the other side, like trying to dig a little bit deeper. So yeah, we did like a 2-hour call and just went through the perfect webinar wizard, dove deep into his stories and really pulling out kind of the meat of how he got to where he was. Took that outline and that framework, shot it over to my my copywriter buddy. He made it sound super sexy. And then next thing you know, we had a webinar script that worked pretty well.
That is wild. That is wild.
Sorry, I'm just curious to know, like, these webinars, how simple are you? Because I've used funnel scripts a few times, and it spits out some really basic slide decks.
Yeah.
What are you doing to those two? Are you keeping the way they are, or are you improving those at all? Are you making them look a little prettier? Are you doing anything like that? Or are you just running through them the way they are?
For sure. Yeah. So these days I, because I've done more webinars now, I have a slide deck template that I reference every time I build out a new webinar. And there's so many little kind of sales psychology hacks that are used on webinars, things like trial closes. Mm-hmm. I read a great book. Do you guys know Jason Fladlien?
I don't.
Jason Fladlien, like, literally, he's probably one of the best, if not the best. I'd say Russell's probably the best, and then Jason Fladlien's a close second. Jason Fladlien, he did, like, as reference, he did $8 million through a webinar for an affiliate offer in like 10 days.
For an affiliate offer?
For an affiliate offer. It wasn't even his own product. $8 million through a webinar.
Wow.
And
oh my gosh.
I read his book. I recommend this book for anyone. Doesn't matter if you're doing webinars or not. It's called One to Many. And what he really dives into is, like, how do you get people to commit to the sale before you ask for the sale? And so one of the things that he says is,
I'm wondering if anybody else is going on Amazon to buy this right now.
One to many.
Matt's looking it up right now.
Like One to Many? Yeah. Okay, we're getting this.
It's a great book. And one of the things he does on his webinars is he uses trial closes. So little questions that gets his audience to, like, you want your audience to nod their head yes and agree with you throughout the webinar. Guess how many times he gets his audience to say yes through trial closes before he makes the pitch? Throw out a number, any number.
20.
156 times before he makes the pitch. And so if another great example is like Dan Henry, if you watch any of Dan Henry's webinars, the number of times that he's saying things like, hey, does this make sense? He always says, like, a great trial close is just the word right. Like, framing it as a question. Hey, how does this sound? Are we doing good? How does this fit into your business? Do you figure out, is this making sense in regards to how this is going to help you generate more leads and sales for your business.
Well, and real estate agents do the same thing. Only with real estate, it's called, a tie down. When you're in person, you're like, does that price make sense for your home? Right.
For sure.
If you could sell it for that, you'd be excited, wouldn't you? Stuff like that.
Exactly. And once again, it's sales psychology, but if you watch great webinars 156 times before you ever make the pitch, crazy to me, but it's so subtle that as a consumer, you don't notice it. So like, those are the things that, once again, if you sit down, if you watch a really, like a highly successful webinar and just dissect the shit out of it, those little things that you can implement in your marketing make a huge, huge difference.
That is incredible. That's incredible. Yeah. Wow. I'm definitely gonna have to check out that book. I haven't ordered it yet because I want to see if they have it on Audible.
Yeah,
Matt, you got to rewrite the whole fucking webinar too, right?
I know, right? Like I got to go through. I'm like, how many times are we asking them to say?
How many times are we asking?
No, but at a certain point, you have to get it out there, right?
You got to get it out there. And yeah, that's one thing. Actually, I used to script my entire webinar, like literally write it word for word.
Yeah.
I recently did a webinar where I didn't write the script. I just had my slides, and pros and cons of both, obviously. One of the things I realized as I did it without a script is like, you have to really train yourself to utilize trial closes. So like going back, I'm going to refilm it because I just did a webinar in front of my Facebook group. As I re-record it, like I'm going to put a sticky note on my computer that literally just says "right?" and throw that in because it's so powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Yeah, something.
There's a list somewhere. I'll have to see if I can find it. But I mean, like tie downs like that or trial closes, like they're so powerful in a real estate presentation. Like I haven't done my real estate listing presentation in years, but it was full of them, right? It was full of them because I wanted to walk away with a listing. I didn't want to have to come back. I didn't want to have to follow up. I just wanted the listing. So it was so full of trial closes and constantly nodding with them, right? Yeah. Just different little psychological cues to get to yes.
100%. So, and that can work really well. If you're an agency owner that's trying to close more deals, get more clients, same thing applies on a sales call. Like use trial closes. I actually have a list that I, reference when I'm building out a webinar script. I'll have this list next to me and I'll literally bake these questions into my client's webinar script because that's the name of the game. Like here's a super short but simple list of trial closes. Figure out how you can fit more of these into your marketing message at whatever stage of your funnel is. If it's on a sales call, great. If it's on a sales page, great. If it's, during a webinar, awesome. Those right there will help you make more sales at the end of the day.
So I noticed when you brought that list up, do you mind sharing that with us again?
Yeah.
Can we see that one more time?
Clients only, but you guys can get it for having me on.
I see there's a little share button at the top there.
If we get 10 people to comment #trial closes, I'll make sure to share this with you guys.
10
people.
You
gotta tag somebody. Tag somebody that should be here as well.
Yeah.
You gotta tag a bunch of people. 10 people comment #trial closes, and we'll get a little share link here. That's awesome, man. No, that's those are very, very powerful, especially on sales calls.
I'm going through some of my notes right now. I'm trying to see if I still have my list of trial closes somewhere. I'm like, I forgot how good those were.
Yeah. So. And once again, it's so funny to me because, when I was broke and not making money in this game, I always thought that I need to focus on all these big, crazy things and build out the craziest funnel. And then once I started realizing like the smallest things make the biggest of difference in marketing and sales, I was like, oh shit, like train yourself to do more trial closes in your marketing. Those little things just, worth its weight in gold, to be honest.
Yeah.
No, 100%. And it's like you said, it's part of NLP, it's part of hypnosis, it's part of all of that stuff. It's just getting agreement. So it's epic. I love it.
So we've only got 6 people that have #trial closes. So sorry guys, we ain't sharing it. That's Whiskey Thursday. Unless we get 10. I said 10, right?
Shane gets mean when he drinks.
Well, My keyboard is messed up, man. There's wine all over the place. My desk is white. It's stained.
So we're gonna need some help with this webinar. Shane needs a new computer.
We'll
buy some more
see what we can do. What?
Oh man.
So we do have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, I was going to say we have a quick question from earlier today. Donald Moore is asking, what software did you use to get the answers to those questions you had up earlier? So I think we covered that, but let's just talk a little bit more about how you got those questions and the answers to that.
For sure. So I have an ethical dilemma going on with the software that I use, because one of my good friends, colleagues in the internet marketing space, James Hurst, he has a great software that it works on autopilot called Email Slurper 3000. The name is kind of funny, Email Slurper 3000, that will literally take the data that you can ask questions with people joining your Facebook group. That data will be sent over to a Google Sheet, and then you can send that kind of wherever. I actually use a software called ClickFunnels from Arnie Giske. Arnie, brilliant marketer. Software literally saves me so much time, and that is the aside from what's that?
It's so freaking awesome. Like I don't know how we went so long without using it until like ClickFunnels is unbelievable.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant. It honestly solves such a huge pain point. And aside from the pain point it solves, it also allows you to once again get that data on your audience, which makes you more money. So it's kind of twofold. So
For
yeah,
sure.
I use ClickFunnels.
Yeah, like I'll just let me share my screen. I'll show you guys here. If anybody's running groups or anything like that, I'll show you what this thing does. So basically, this is our group here that you're all part of, right? Got 2 people that want to join. Is like typically there's 20, 30 people a day. What we used to do is so we have this question here. Oops, Matt's freaking spamming here. Oh my God, all these people.
You're too popular, Shane. Look at all those.
I know. It's like, that's just from today. So what we used to do is we used to go ahead and copy this, and then we put it in our spreadsheet, right? With ClickFunnels, you just, where's the button? You basically just hit, like, usually this is like, 10, 15, or if I go to bed and I wake up in the morning, there could be, another 15 people, and just go approve all. And that just dumps it into here. And then you go to this ClickFunnel thing, which is freaking awesome. That opens this up. And then I've got a little zap here that basically filters out everybody with email addresses, and then just do this and then push to another over. And then it just sends them all an email. It's basically saying, hey, welcome to the group. And that is it. So Arnie, man, genius.
Yeah, it's a great software. And honestly, like my best leads for my business come from my Facebook group. So similar to you guys, once again, I have an email automation sequence that triggers for new group members, welcoming them to the group, getting them to come and introduce themselves so that, they're antiquated and, become a part of the community. And then I have a little drip series that gives them free content and moves them into my webinar funnel. So super, super powerful.
And for anybody that's watching that has a group, wants to go pick up ClickFunnels, don't go buy it until you come get my affiliate link.
There we go. There we go.
Because I just showed you something that's really, really cool. Especially, but honestly, it saved us so much time. I think we bought ClickFunnels when it was like we were at 1,500 members or something, right, Matt?
Yeah, I think we're just coming up on 2,000, because that's what you said is like, well, if we hit 2,000, we'll do it, right? Because we were still not 100% sure it was going to take off, and then here we are.
No idea. We had no idea if anybody would like Matt inside of our group. Right? It's like that was a big.
How long are they going to put up with me?
Yeah, exactly. But what a time saver. And the nice thing is you can actually build up your email list. You can use Zap, and then you can, send out emails, welcome emails, get them into your drip and all that stuff. Exactly the same way you're doing it. It's definitely something that people need.
It's like the easiest lead gen system in the space right now, I believe.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah. And I watched a really a cool little hack, actually. Did you guys see that video from Dan Henry where he had Arnie on and he did a little hack? So basically what they're doing is they're using ClickFunnels, bringing in people, and then they're actually sending the people that are coming inside of the group, they're firing off to their sales team, and then their sales team are picking up they're basically messaging the people, getting phone numbers and picking up the phone and pitching them, like Dan's pitching them their $5,000 product.
Cold calling works.
Yeah.
Everybody hates it, but it still works.
It works.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
it's super smart.
That is awesome. So that was another webinar that let's see, it was a webinar you hacked that had all those words of agreement. So the one that you did you do similar things, like put a ton of tie downs in there, or I can't think of the word you used.
Yeah, the trial closes.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, thinking back to it, I mean, it was my first, that was like the first full-scale webinar client I'd built a webinar funnel for clients before, but I hadn't, been responsible for building out the offer and the script and so on and so forth. So I'd have to go back to the actual webinar script itself. My guess is that I could have done knowing what I know now, I could have done way better with it and done, $250K, just because of, once again, now I understand it's the little things that really move the needle. But it's once again, it's webinars to me. It's funny because ClickFunnels, Russell Brunson always talks about the new opportunity, which I think is great. But like, if you're trying to go from 0 to 6 figures or even multi 6 figures, you don't need a new opportunity. If you look at, there's 3 webinars that I can think of off the top of my head that it's the Dan Henry pitch of get easy Facebook ad clients. And all of those 3 webinars have done $1 million plus. So like, you don't have to create a new opportunity. You just have to find a way to position your opportunity. And the fastest way to do that is by going and literally sitting through the webinar presentation of another successful marketer that's marketing the same audience and avatar that you're trying to market to, and just literally building out your marketing message from there.
Makes sense. So have you created any small products or anything like that you'd funnel hacked and created your own version? Because like Russell talks about like how to ethically knock off all these funnels, create your own thing and blah, blah, blah. And he talks, what's the one, the ClickBank that was #1 for so long that he always talks about? Was it like,
I know what you're talking about, but I forget it.
Yeah. Like Vino something. And
it's Venus Factor, isn't it?
Venus Factor. That's what it was. Yeah.
I got that one transcribed the other day.
Did you really?
Yeah.
So I'm curious, have you ever done any of that and then created an actual, Shane, people are actually asking for your affiliate link for group funnels. So
are they really?
Yeah, we've got multiple people asking for it. So love it. But yeah, have you created any small products, any affiliate products, anything like that you've done where you've created your own, funnel hack and product or something like that?
100%. Yeah. So once again, I'm going to work for Steve, so I'm not going to run a bunch of traffic to it, just kind of sell organically on the side. But my webinar launchpad program, this is exactly how I built it out. Would it be helpful if I?
Yeah. You want to pull it up?
For sure. Only for you guys in the group.
I mean, I watched when you were going through some of this on your group or in your group the other day. Like, this was just the way that you did it, how you had it set up was just, it was legit. I think
once again, I'm kind of, one of the things that I was really keen on over the last 6 to 8 months was understanding the foundations and the basics really well. Foundations to me are copywriting. How do you write compelling copy that moves someone to act? Offer creation, which I think is really a lost art in today's online space. Like, not many people really know how to create a really compelling and irresistible offer.
Yeah, that I feel like I thought I had that for a long time. I figured I knew how to create an offer, but I went through the One Funnel Away challenge, and the way that Steven explained it there, I went, oh. Because he has the exercise that he does that makes you realize, and that's when it all clicked. I was like, that's what it is, right? And sometimes it's still tough to come up with that in a lot of situations, but like, it's more than I think a lot of people think. It's an easy thing to get caught up on, For
sure, 100%. And what I found is that with clients and people in my Facebook group, why they struggle so much with offer creation is because they haven't done that 80-20 of funnel building is what I call it. Like, a funnel to me comes in 3 pieces. Mm-hmm. It's stage number 1, which the vast majority of people miss. I call audience intelligence. Like we talked about, getting the data about your audience.
Yeah.
Step number 2 is, the sales message and the offer. I kind of loop those together. What are you selling, and what is the what are the stories that you're using to sell it? I build those out in tandem. And then stage 3, the last step is building the actual funnel, which is actually like contrary to common belief. That's the easy part. I used to think that was stage number 1. The funnel is the easy part. Like Shane said, slap it together. You can do it super quickly. If you do the first 2 stages correctly, the funnel, it doesn't matter what it looks like, you know, as long as it has the basic framework to it, the thing will sell. Yeah. And so step number 1, like we said, gather the data, really get an intimate understanding of who you're selling to, what their problems are, where they're at in trying to solve that problem. And then from there, what I do is, once again, as I go through webinars, I call it offer hacking because hacking is a buzzword, so why not? But I have like a whole database of offers in different niches. Oh, this is okay. So this is how I built out my
Speaking of hacking, if anybody knows how to really hack and they can get in there, get this stuff without Austin knowing and send it over.
We have people in the comments screenshotting, so maybe they'll share those with you guys. So once again, my offer is built around like, you know, teaching people how to script and launch their webinar. So what I did is I went and sat through the webinars and read the sales pages of 4 of the biggest marketers in the online game who sell a similar offer: John Penberthy, Amy Porterfield, Frank Kern, and Jason Fladley. So what I do is really I get a feeling for, okay, how are they positioning this to the market? What's their hook? You know, what are they leading with? And then what are they selling? So this right here, once again, this is a client only product, so I can't give this away, but you guys can look at the framework and whatnot. These are all just offers in like a variety of different niches. Fitness, you know, a lot of them are in the online, you know, make money online space.
It's really cool to see this because I think I own like half of these. So
for sure, yeah. And so what I do is, you know, you can see here, Jason Fladley, John Penberthy, 2 guys who have a similar offer to what I sell. And what I do is I say, okay, what products are inside of their offer? Which products overlap? Like what is the core of all of these webinar program offers? And then I call this my ITG offer creation method. It's identify the gaps. What are the gaps that are missing? Like what problems didn't they solve that I can come into this market and solve for this avatar? So, you know, for me, the audience I serve, obviously one of their, you know, biggest objections about scripting a webinar is like, I don't know what to say. Like, I don't know how to script out my webinar. So I literally give them a product that is a plug and play webinar script thing. Not all of them own funnel scripts. So it's like, hey, I'm going to make scripting your webinar super easy on you. Another objection that I always see is like, okay, what if I don't have an existing audience? I'm scared to run paid traffic because it's just going to, you know, I'm going to have to spend a bunch of money. So what I do is say, hey, I'll actually throw in a bonus to teach you how to get webinar registrants for free so that traffic isn't an issue for you.
Do you have is your funnel, can we see your funnel or we can see all this?
For sure. Yeah. So once again, I run a webinar, and then what do you want me to pull up? Here. The webinar, the order page?
Well, what's the one that you were doing the other day that had like all the stuff that you're talking about? And then we can put a link in there too. So if anybody wants to see it on theirs.
Calm down here. I just posted the link to the Group Funnels affiliate link. Let people click on that.
We're doing a bunch of offers tonight. Is this the one you're talking about?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. There you go.
So yeah, once again, all offer creation is really, once again, step number 1, having an intimate understanding of who your avatar is that you're selling to and what problems they have. And then just build products to put inside of your offer that solve those problems. So like this one right here, I threw in this bonus because my audience struggles with the traffic side of things. How do I not spend a boatload of money getting people to my webinar so that, like, you know, even if I have a small budget, I can make a profit? So I tell them, hey, look, when you join this program, I'm going to teach you how to create what I call the pure profit webinar funnel so that you can make money right after people register for your webinar. Before they even see your webinar, you're making money so that you can acquire webinar registrants for completely free. So yeah, once again, it's just a matter of identifying what people in your market have sold before to your audience in a similar offer. And then where are those gaps? How can you fill in those gaps and create an offer that no one has ever seen before?
I love it. I love it. And Shane, I don't know if you saw it, he's got the PayPal option that you were interested in the other day.
Oh my God. Well,
yeah.
I use the PayPal. How do you use that PayPal? Can I see it?
Yeah, so I use CF Pro Tools. I know a lot of people use Funnelish, which is a separate app, but once again, I'm lazy. I like to keep everything directly just under ClickFunnels. So this is just a little script from CF Pro Tools that you can use.
Oh, it's right in there. So so the problem I've been having, so we have a PayPal option, but one of the problems I am having with it is that when somebody pays with PayPal, it doesn't, the automation doesn't actually kick in. It doesn't register as a paid product. So then I have to go in and do all the stuff.
How do you have it set up in ClickFunnels? Is it with the
It's just with it's with the I think with the API, and then there's just a button there for PayPal.
Maybe I can get inside your ClickFunnels account at a later date and check it out for you.
No, it's not. If you're saying CF Pro Tools will do it and fix that problem, I'll just like sign up to that then.
Yeah, we'll see.
If you think you're lazy, like.
Well, Shane's like, how much is it?
I'm next, and then Matt is probably the laziest person out there.
Maybe I can take you on as a private client and just put my script inside.
Listen, I will give you as much money as you want if you can make $110,000 in the next 11 days.
We'll chat outside this live.
There you go. Well, we'll save it for the after party, right? That's what we call it. So, all right, let's see here. I'm trying to think if we've got any funnels. Shane, do you have any funnels right now that we could bring up, like a homes list funnel that maybe we could jump on and redo for the real estate agent side of this? I'm looking for mine. The
only thing that I've used quite a bit is just the homes list one, which is a very, very simple, like single page. Mm-hmm. That's it. Like it's basically headline, picture, opt-in.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe you can pull that up when you look at. Is there a way to make it better?
I personally, I wish we had more time, because then I'd love to work on the seller funnel stuff. And maybe this is something we can do at a later time.
Okay.
Like maybe a couple months from now, we can look at the seller side of it, because we have some new campaigns that are coming out in the next couple of weeks that we'll be sharing with the group for seller leads. And then maybe we can improve on the actual funnel side of it, or the landing pages and stuff like that. But let me see what I got here.
We could also host co-host a paid masterclass for those that really want to take their knowledge to the next level.
There you go.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
What was the funnel you were showing us early on with the email download?
The little opt-in funnel.
Could something like that be used for a real estate agent to get real estate clients, or even a marketer to get real estate clients? I guess you could probably use something like this to build an email list.
Yeah, 100%. I'm also just trying to think, and we were talking about this a little bit the other night when you guys were over in my group, where like the typical real estate client, my guess is that they want everything done for you. They don't have the time. They just want to pay someone to generate them leads. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'm trying to think, and once again, this is why I teach and preach webinars, is because I used to think when I first started building funnels, I used to think like, oh, I need to build out a full value ladder. I need to have all these freebies and then have like a low ticket offer and then lead them to my core offer. Webinars accomplish everything. They build your email list, they get a commitment from your audience, and then they, pre-friend them for a high ticket sale. So when it comes to, lead generation and opt-in funnel for real estate agents, I'm just trying to think what makes most sense.
Yeah, I've always wondered if there's a way to do, and I think, Shane, I've mentioned this to you as well, is there a way to do a new home buyers webinar? Because, they have new home buyer events, and I figure if you can do it as an event, you can probably do it as a webinar, right? Where they can learn about the whole process. And what they usually do at the events, they bring in a mortgage guy, they tell you all the different steps throughout the process, introduce themselves. But I'm wondering if you could do something like that as a webinar.
Well, I think part of the real estate industry is there's so much relationship building with the people, but we are, you're seeing big companies like Zillow and Redfin and they're moving toward, like, people are selling their homes online now. Like, it's like, hey, make me an offer. I was just watching a video from Zillow where it's like, you just go to their app and pop in your address and they'll make you an offer right away and you can accept it. Like this, like it's moving towards that, right? So yeah, I think the idea of doing like a first-time home buyer webinar, or even even a short presentation for a half an hour. I mean, the other thing too is that, like, we did like one of our master classes was called Pay to Pitch, and what that was basically you as a marketer go out there and teach how to do Facebook ads to real estate agents, right? And part of that, then, after you're done teaching it, pitch your services to them and build this irresistible offer, and then sign up clients at that event. And so there was a lot of questions that came up. It's like, I could probably just build this out as a webinar, and you can absolutely do that. You could absolutely do that. If you could use those similar strategies and build that all out into a webinar, and then at the end of the webinar, pitch an irresistible offer, get people to sign up. At the very least, you're building up an email list. Continue to nurture those. The reality is not everybody's going to sign up to that, but if you nurture them, add more value, provide more offers, you might be able to get them as a client, right? But again, I think the idea of a lot of marketers, especially when we're working with real estate agents, is how quickly can I fill up my calendar, get as many appointments in as possible, then sit on a 1-hour call with them, try to pitch them, and then if they don't buy, I move on to the next one, right? And that's how a lot of us are doing this right now. But I think the idea of a webinar might be a really interesting way of pitching some of these real estate agents.
For sure. What's the typical, value of a new client?
A new client for a marketer or for a real estate agent?
For a marketer.
Marketers, I mean, I would say they're probably charging, on average, they're around $1,000 retainer. Let's say that. Yeah.
$1,000 retainer.
Yeah. And, I mean, there's plenty going more. There's a few going under, but yeah, 1,000 is probably a safe number.
Makes sense. Yeah. And that's once again, that's the beauty of, I guess, funnels at its core is you just read the numbers. If you can get, typically what's the close rate on a sales call?
It's really low.
It is low.
Really?
So one of our biggest customers right now, and they've got, I think the last time I talked to them, I asked them about their numbers, and so we basically, that's what they do is they bring on real estate agents as their customers.
Okay.
We're basically generating leads for them, and their close rate on how much is their product, Matt? Like $399 or $500 or something. It's something like that. And their close rate with a team of 22 salespeople, fully trained, they're closing at 10%.
What's the close rate for marketers landing new clients?
Well, to be honest, I don't know.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm using this one client because, like, if they're doing 10% with a fully trained team at a $500 offer and they're only closing at 10%, my guess is for the marketers, it's way, way lower.
Interesting. Yeah, and once again, I'm going to beat it like a dead horse, but this is also why I love webinars. Once again, it brings you the top tier leads.
It sounds like when somebody tries to not set an appointment with me when I'm calling expireds or for sale by owners, and I'm like, this is exactly why we should set an appointment. Every answer is, this is exactly why we should set an appointment. Like, you're like, this is exactly why you need a webinar. I love it.
Sure. Yeah. And it, once again, it pre-frames the sale to where you're getting higher quality leads that are literally showing you, hey, I watched what you said. I'm interested. I know that, there's a cost associated with this, but I still want to chat with you. So typically we see that close rate go up because higher quality leads and they're more pre-framed from it.
No, I love it. Let's see. It would be fun. Maybe we can break, maybe instead of building a funnel, we can break down 2 funnels that are disrupting the real estate market right now.
Let's do it.
All right, let me.
Matt's like, let's do this funnle thing, man. We got to do it.
I love it. We got a funnel guy. Let's do it. Here, I'm going to toss them into the.
You guys are just nerds, man.
Into the Facebook chat. Okay, so these are 2 Like, I mean, they're going to see, I guess we just put it in the regular chat, whatever. But Zillow offers an open door, right? So they're totally disrupting the real estate market in the fact that they're basically buying people's houses and then reselling them instead of having people list their houses on there, which they still list their houses on Zillow. But Zillow is more and more often buying the house, right? They're starting to expand that. And it's something where it's more convenient for the client. You know, they lose a little bit of money, but that convenience seems to be working for them because they don't have to let it sit on the market. They can close whenever they want. They can be out whenever they want. So it's super convenient.
So I want to, sorry to interrupt here because I want to interrupt for this one comment that came in from Jimmy. And this is, and I want to get your opinion on this, both of you actually, as the market is changing, right? So Jimmy says most customers won't sit through a webinar, much less a YouTube FAQ video on real estate. And that's, you know, I think 5 years ago, most people would have said nobody's going to buy a house online or sell their house online. And it's shifting. It really is. Things are shifting, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, comments on that at all, or?
Yeah, it's I think the state of webinars is definitely shifting, and just online marketing in general. It's becoming a lot more, and I feel like we've heard this buzzword for the last few years, but it's true. It's becoming a lot more conversational, a lot more personal. This is why you see the influencer space, which once again, another buzzword, but like personality branding is a thing for a reason. Who's not to say that you can't be the go-to real estate marketer in your space through developing content? Yes, it's a long-term play. Yes, it takes a little bit more time, but short form content is obviously great. Like I supplement my webinars with short form content that precedes the webinar so that when someone jumps on, I already have a little bit of credibility and authority with them. They're more warmed up to sitting through a sales presentation from me because there's already that kind of, trust built. So yeah, it's, webinars are the most proven way to convert cold traffic, hands down, the most proven way to convert cold traffic. With that said, it doesn't hurt to nurture people before they see a webinar. So yeah, it's once again,
I definitely like to get Matt's opinion on this comment from Jimmy here. And we know Jimmy here too, so it's not like, it's a great, I think that's a great point, is that most people aren't going to sit like, and it's not, we don't know if that's true or not. I don't know. Like I've never built a webinar for a real estate client, or like, taking the home buyers event and turning that into a webinar. I have no idea. We haven't tested that. Right. But Matt, what do you think?
I think it depends on the hook and the offer, right? Like, I think if the offer is good enough, people are going to sit there and do it. Like, how many times, like Shane, you just went to a timeshare presentation, which is what, 3 hours of just, you're not going to buy it, but what was the hook? What was the offer? You were willing to sit through it.
I didn't do one.
You did 3, right?
3.
Yeah. So like people, nobody's going to sit through that. Really? Well, what are the
3? And I knew that they were timeshare presentations. I did 3 of them.
Yeah,
I sat through them. Like 2 of them had crappy snacks. They said they were going to have good food, and they had crappy snacks.
But we don't even have, like, webinars are shorter. Like, you can get the outcome that you're going in for a lot quicker, and we don't have to provide snacks.
So here's an interesting. Here's an interesting thing that's happening with me right now. So Matt, you know about this. We're thinking about, like, we're looking to buy a home in Florida, thinking of moving there throughout the winters, getting away from the snow and all this stuff, right? I don't want to fly to Florida to buy a house. I want somebody to be able to show it to me online. And I don't feel like I need to go to Florida to go look at a house. Just show it to me online, prove to me that, and we'll go ahead and make an offer if it looks good on video. Like, that's the market. Like, people are shifting towards that. So to make a blanket statement, no disrespect, Jimmy, whatsoever. We love you. And you've been a great follower, great supporter. But to just make that blanket statement saying, listen, nobody's going to sit through a webinar to do, home buyers event or anything like that without actually trying it and testing it. And the fact that there were reports just released that I was reading that, millennials are now coming out. Nobody wants to go out and look at homes. Nobody wants to meet a realtor anymore. Like that, we're shifting towards that.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. And I mean, the other thing is you're not marketing to everyone.
Exactly. And that's what he says right here. Some clients might, but it's going to be highly personality based, profile based, right? Which is true.
Mm-hmm.
But the beauty of the webinar is you can automate the entire freaking thing.
You can automate it. And going back to the conversations piece, one of my good friends and colleagues, Tyler Shaw, he's kind of going on, very good marketer in the webinar space as well. And one of the whole kind of things that he's touching on these days is he's calling it conversations, where he's integrating things like text message marketing, live chat features to his webinar funnel, to where, hey, that as a consumer, this is an on-demand presentation. You're not naive to the fact that it's not a live webinar.
You know how many times I've sat there and I've been like, I'm going to put my question in and see if this is real. Like when I first was getting into this, I didn't realize that they were all recorded. I think it's the same for a lot of people, right? Like I don't know that I'd say that so many people know it's automated. I think we're desensitized to it as opposed to a lot of the.
Yeah, especially as marketers. So kind of twofold there. I agree with Shane, like test it out, see if it works. If it doesn't, like iterate and refine. Second, make it more conversational. There's definitely ways with with technology and software that we have access to these days to I'm always a big fan of being transparent. Like, hey, this is not live. This is an on-demand presentation. But B, giving them options to chat with you live. Like on my sales page, let me just pull this up real quick. Mm-hmm. Literally on my order form page, I say, hey, look, shoot me a text or call me. Here's my number. And sure enough, I get people texting me when they're on this. I made a $1,000 sale from a 3-minute text exchange the other day. And it's like that is a sale that would have gone down the drain if I didn't have that text option on my page. So like,
absolutely,
make your marketing conversation.
I'm going to put Shane's number on our funnel right after this.
It is already on our funnel.
There you go.
It's not actually. Sorry, I thought my messenger link was there, but it's not. That's a great point. I'm actually going to add that.
And you can use. I don't like to put my actual cell phone number out there. I use Google Voice. If you have a Gmail account, you can use Google Voice. Get a dummy phone number that links to an app on your phone, and there you go. But like conversational marketing, that's the name of the game in 20.
Anybody that's seen my videos, like I'm so bad for showing other people's shit, and like I opt in, I'll do like a video, like, hey, this is how you do something, and then I'll put in my phone number. It's like 613-355-9246. Everybody out there's got my phone number. If you watch any of my shit, you got my direct cell. You just
number. Better hope your videos don't go viral.
I doubt they will. And I'm okay with that.
Oh man. So by the way, Sebastian, I got to jump in here and say this because I missed it earlier and I meant to bring it up. But Sebastian says, wow, probably the best Whiskey Thursday I've seen. Pure gold. Awesome job, Austin. So
I love that.
Let me make one more point here about, the comments that with what Jimmy mentioned about, most people won't sit through this. One of the other challenges, and Austin, since, you haven't worked much in real estate, one of the challenges with real estate is you don't get that immediate sale, right? As a marketer, if you're putting out webinars and you're selling courses, it's like you can adjust your webinar, your presentations, whatever, and test out different things to see what's going to convert into a sale, right? And that is an immediate result. With real estate, you can't. It's very, very difficult to measure that because like you could get people on a webinar and teach them about, okay, this is how you buy a house, the mortgage shit, and all that stuff, right? Your measurements may be different. A measurement could be, you sign them up and you get an application for a mortgage, for instance, right, at the end of the webinar. But that doesn't mean that's going to convert into anything. That conversion could happen 6 months down the road or a year down the road. And that's the challenge with real estate.
Right.
And it's one of the reasons why fucking marketers that are in the real estate niche are freaking crazy because it's so difficult to measure any of this shit. Right. But that's
it really is.
Yeah.
It really is tough. And, I really wonder though about this new home buyer thing. Cause I'm like, man, like how, like, obviously you can get new home buyers to watch, right? You might even be able to charge for it. But at the end, I'm curious if you could automate with DocuSign or some other stuff, or whether or not you'd even want to, but could you automate the process of signing somebody to a buyer agency agreement?
They might be able to.
But at the same time, the only thing I worry about there is like those buyers that you're like, I do not want to be in a house alone with these people. Like they are nuts, right? Like all of a sudden you're their agent. They signed.
Yeah, there's a lot of. Anyways, I think there's something there. It's like, you've got to go out, build it, test it, and then try it, right? As a marketer, though, if you are a marketer and you're working in this niche, I think there is definitely an opportunity to build out a webinar to get clients. Or because there's other offers you can put out there, right? As marketers, you don't necessarily have to sell a monthly retainer. We had Joshua last week on that has a chatbot done for you service where it's like $500 or $1,000. It's all set up. It's a one-time fee. Like you could do that on your webinar to at least bring the client in, get some revenue, and then nurture them to a retainer client after that. Right. So there's a lot of different things you could do with the webinars as a marketer to get more clients on board.
For sure. And I think, once again, thinking about the kind of two-headed monster in this group, marketers and then agents themselves, webinars definitely fit for the marketing audience. If you're trying to get more clients, could not recommend a webinar enough, going back to the fact that you're going to get higher quality leads and they're going to be easier to close on the phone. Now you guys got my head spinning, and I'm going to go do some research on, what funnels, if webinars would be a good fit for agents themselves.
Yeah. No, I'm curious like how you could do that. But I think there's definitely potential there. Cause again,
well, if you could, I'll tell you something, if you could figure out a webinar that would convert into a measurable result for real estate agents, that's $1 million product. I'm
taking notes. Where's my notebook?
I'm pretty sure. And I'm sure, Austin, you've seen it in the ClickFunnels group. Every time somebody mentions real estate, the fucking post goes crazy.
Yeah.
Right. It's like every marketer is a goddamn expert at real estate. And then you've got a ton of real estate agents in there looking for the next best thing to generate leads.
For sure.
Right.
Let me ask you this. Who's the go-to marketer in the real estate space right now?
What the fuck? What do you think what group do you think you're in?
I get, but like once again, if you think real estate marketing, and I'm not trying to throw shit at all, like are you guys the guys right now?
Well, I think there's a bunch. I mean,
I'm trying to think who would there be.
I like off the top of my head.
My question is, who's the Russell Brunson of the real estate space?
So as an agent, the person I used to see was Grant Wise.
I've heard the name.
I'm trying to think if there's anybody else.
Well, I mean, okay, there's other people that names are dropped because they're part of other, you got Joe, for instance.
Yeah, from Dan's group. Yep. And
because
Travis,
Joe is, Travis as well. There's a few of them, and so that I'm sure there's a few of them out there, right?
But if you're looking at marketers who actually were marketing, right, for their real estate business, like to help real estate agents or whatever, Grant Wise is the one that comes to mind for me. I don't know if it's different for you, Shane. You just froze.
No, I'm still here.
Oh, there you are. Okay. He's just sitting so still.
Yeah.
I was like,
I'm thinking.
Yeah, I think that's the one that comes up for me.
Yeah, Grant Wise for sure. Flex here said Jason Wardrop is another one. Definitely. There's a couple of them out there.
And my goal with this question is to have better intel so I can go back to the marketplace and do a little research for you guys.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, there used to be more people, but honestly, a lot have come in and gone out. I've seen that over the years.
Yeah, and a lot of these guys, like Jason, for instance, these guys are selling courses. So their webinars are about, like, how do I bring marketers in to buy my courses, or even real estate agents to buy my courses so they can do their own stuff, right? What I'm talking about is if you can actually build out something that generates a measurable result for a real estate agent in a short amount of time, that is a winner. Because that's always a struggle, right? Even Jimmy here said, your sales cycles are 6 months out.
6 months.
Like
long.
And that's a good one. That's a good sales cycle.
Yeah, it is.
Like 12 months, if you got a really, really good offer. I know we have Pat here inside the group. He's got a killer offer. He's seen, sales cycles of about 30 days or so. It varies a little bit, but typically we're seeing about 6 month sales cycles.
And for everybody who's watching right now, are you guys enjoying this? Are you getting some value from this? Are you happy that you're here? Let us know in the comments below.
Are we geeking too hard about funnels?
I hope they realize, I hope if you're watching, you realize, you're basically, we're having a conversation about how to disrupt the industry more so than it already has been in other ways. How to disrupt lead generation for real estate agents. And I hope that you're taking notes and maybe, coming up with your own ideas. You never know where one of these conversations could spark something in your brain and you come up with the next best thing. There are multi-million-dollar ideas out there that nobody's thought of yet.
100%. Yeah.
So
that's a mindset right there.
Kevin says here, Kevin Castillo says he wants in on the after party. So it's the after party is a $5,000 buy-in for anybody that wants it.
And you go into a raffle. That's it.
That's right.
We do have PayPal financing if that's of any interest to you.
That's right. We're just kidding.
Oh, man, I love it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so going back to the two disruptions right now that I'm seeing and that we've been seeing grow, right? Like, it's not like they just disrupt it, but they're actually growing, which is interesting. Would be Zillow Offers and Open Door. And so I'm curious what your thoughts are on maybe some headlines, maybe some insights that we could use to build our own funnels that are somewhat like this. If we're working with investors or wholesalers or agents who understand how to turn these into listing appointments.
And something for anybody that's watching too, like when we build out, so we have clients that come to us and say, hey, well, listen, we want more real estate agents. We want more leads. We go to the big players and figure out what they're doing. This is exactly what we talked about this on one of our Whiskey Thursdays a couple weeks ago. And we shared the ads, and the ads are identical, almost identical to Zillow. It's like Zillow's got so much money to spend on testing what's going to work and what's not going to work. Like, go funnel hack what the hell they're doing. If you want more real estate agents, go figure out what they're doing on their landing pages. And this is exactly what we did for our clients.
You can't afford to run your own marketing. Just go pick up where somebody else left off.
Right.
Like, there you go.
100%. Shave the 100%. That's the name of the game. Go find
right.
where the money is flowing and model what they're doing.
Yep.
What do you guys use to check out other people's Facebook ads? I saw this question like 8 times this week, which surprised me.
To check out other people's Facebook ads. So obviously there's info and ads on people's pages, but then there's Ad Spy, and there's a couple other ones. When I want somebody's
Facebook has like their new ads library. Do you guys use that?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I saw a bunch of people this week post like, oh, I don't see the info and ads tab anymore. I was like, yo.
Yeah, I think it was a bug.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah.
Because I think I noticed that as well, that a lot of people were asking about that. Like, say, where did the info and ads tab go? And it's like, we think this is a bug that's happening because it was working today. I was I was checking out other people's ads today, and it seemed to be working.
There you go.
Yeah.
Do you want me to pull up? I have the Zillow page.
Yeah, go ahead and pull them up.
Yeah, let's take a look.
Cool. So first note here is, and actually let me pull up. I keep a little business Bible, and it's just, quotes that I hear, things that help me make more money at the end of the day. Obviously, Steve Larson, I'm a little bit biased, but this right here, money. He says, good funnels have one objective. That's it. Each page has its own specific focus. There's a reason. That's the reason a funnel works. The thing that makes it turn from a funnel back into a website is when you have multiple exits from a page. So first note here, once again, Zillow's doing well, but the reason this is losing leads and sales is because of all this shit. Too many places to click up top. Like, a confused mind always says no. So if they come to this page for a specific reason, giving them all these different options, not a good idea.
So if they're gonna funnel hack this, you would take all of that off.
100%. Take the header off. Like, I even hate having a logo is good for branding, I guess, but like I typically put a super small logo up in the top left corner. We as humans love to think that our logo matters. It fucking doesn't. No one cares about it. So like, if you use it for branding purposes, just put it super small up in the left side. Done deal. There you go. Headline, not great. Skip the hassle is a good like pain to avoid, but this right here is not a benefit. Sell with Zillow. What do you mean? Like, especially in thinking about like the, you know, customer journey. If I'm not familiar with Zillow or like I haven't really used them before, this right here means nothing to me. So
well, in Austin, I hope you don't mind. How old are you? Because I'm curious. Like, if this is like, some people are familiar with Zillow because like they bought their first house. Have you?
100%. Yeah, and I'm 26. I did my apartment shopping on Zillow, so I know the platform. I know that they're crushing it. But this right here, once again, no one cares about who you are. They care about what you can do for them. So this right here, social proof, that's good. Join thousands of homeowners who have received a Zillow offer, but it's also just kind of a blanket statement because there's no like intrinsic social proof from here. This is just you telling me that thousands of homeowners have received a Zillow offer from here. I don't see the proof behind it. So just right here can definitely be cleaned up.
Okay.
Best framework for headlines, how to get a big benefit without this big pain that you have. So how to, you know, sell your home on Zillow in the next 90 days or less without the hassle and headache of, once again, I don't know the real estate niche too well. So whatever hassles of does that make sense?
Yep. And if you guys are enjoying this, if you're getting some value out of this, keep the comments rolling in. Hearts, likes,
Kevin said
wow faces.
Kevin says people should be paying for this.
Yeah, this is
so we're gonna put a donate button here.
I love it. My goal, once again, I studied the bigwigs and they always say, hey, give more value for free than other people charge for. That's always my goal. So
well, this is really interesting. I'm gonna shoot you over a link here really quick. Where are you? Oh shit, I just shut down all my tabs.
You shouldn't. That's a lot of tabs to shut down.
Oh my God, I just lost all my tabs. That took me 2 days to fuck. So remember I was mentioning Austin earlier about the home eval funnel that we built inside of ClickFunnels.
Yeah.
Which is very, like, basically what you were looking at was a home eval funnel.
Okay.
That's basically what you're looking at. So I just sent you the link to the one we have. Obviously, there's some improvements just based on what you just talked about.
You want me to pull up on my end?
Yeah, you might as well. Like, it's so basic.
It really is. It's the back end is what's impressive on this thing. The front end, not so much.
Yeah, the front end sucks because, like, it's like, okay, well, what you're talking about, what you were talking about with Zillow, it makes a lot of sense, right? So this is built inside of ClickFunnels, wherever it went.
If it wants to load for us.
Yeah, there. So this is built into ClickFunnels. You put in the address here. It goes out to the Google Map API, and
super nice.
Should work. But the headline here alone could be, fixed, right? Obviously.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's just it's cookie cutter. It makes sense. The benefits there. Someone's coming here to find out the value of their home. But I'm a direct response marketing junkie. And so once again, it's benefit and it's curiosity. Like, how can you beef this up so that they feel like they're not just getting the value of their home, but they're also going through an experience. Like the home buying and selling experience it's a big thing. So this to me seems very transactional. Hey, we will give you your home worth if you give us your email address. Whereas with funnel pages, whether it be an opt-in or a sale, I always want to make sure that my audience feels like they're getting more value than I'm asking from them. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So
And I think that makes a lot of sense for sure. And I think this could definitely be like the headline here could definitely be worked out a little bit better. Obviously, this is just something it's canned, it's demo, right?
For sure.
Like it's not something that we're using. People are taking this and using them for themselves. They can obviously modify this. But yeah, like you said, there's a lot that, like what you were just talking about was the Zillow website, which is identical to what this, not identical, but this is exactly what they're asking, is that property address, right?
Yep.
We could change those headlines to just make that a little bit better.
100%. And even something like, I mean, you guys saw my opt-in page. It's very simple. There's no scroll. There's nothing underneath this. I'm a big fan of, if you are trying to get an email address, literally don't allow your audience to scroll. If you want 70, 80%.
We're trying to capture a home address is what we're trying to capture.
But do you get an email address after this?
Yeah, like go ahead and put in your
this page?
Just go back. No, go back for a second. Maybe I gave you the wrong. Yeah, just put in your home address. The next page here should be.
Let's see.
Scroll. Oh, maybe. Oh, this might be the
wrong value.
Is the wrong one. No, this is the wrong funnel. It actually goes. It asks for like a couple different questions. Let me see if I can find it here.
No worries. And I guess my point here is, like Zillow tries to oversell it. If someone's coming to this page to find out their home value, what do they want? They want to find out their home value. So they're almost overselling it here by all this just random crap that I start to get confused. And it's like, oh, shoot. And then one of the good things they do is, like I talked about earlier, make sure that you have a call to action at the bottom of your page if you do have a longer opt-in or sales page, because
FAQ.
Yeah, for sure. 100%. So if one of these last objections you break down, give them a place to do the thing that they came to this page for. Is Shane pulling something else up?
Yeah. Just give me 2 seconds here. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries.
I was like, wait, where did he go?
One of the things that I would recommend on a page like this is humans hate to feel like they're missing out on something. So you could almost frame it as like, making sure that they don't undervalue what their home's worth and build a headline around that. That builds curiosity into it. And they're like, wait a second. Oh, shoot. Like, is my home worth more than I think it is? I better check it out by putting my address in here. So
one thing I see very common is home values have changed. Get your up-to-date market value, something like that.
Exactly.
Like the whatever market has shifted, and home values in Las Vegas are changing fast,
Yep. And it's
go,
avoiding the pain of undervaluing, your assets essentially. So
right. No, I love it. Luke Darling just joined. What's going on, Luke?
Luke, what's up?
Got a lot of comments here. People are loving this stuff. Not a lot of questions. I think that's a good thing, right? If we're just answering all the questions before you ask them.
I hope it's a good thing, but if you guys do have any questions, let us know in the comments.
All right, try this one out here. Sorry. Oh, fuck,
Yeah,
I just started Netflix. Hang on a second. Oh my God.
Yeah, Luke was a previous guest on Whiskey Thursday, and he's a chatbot killer in the mortgage industry. So crushing it over there.
Crushing it. Chatbots are, when you can do them right, they're money-making machines.
Yeah.
I think this one works here.
Well, I think you had to click the get my home value, right?
Yeah, you got to click that. And then that should bring up. Why is that not working for you?
I don't remember. There was something with it.
I'm pressing enter, so maybe I'll click the button and that'll work.
That's probably what it is. We're gonna have to get Pat to fix that.
Get my home.
There you go. Fetching property in.
There it is. Yep.
I see. Okay. We found your home.
Hey, nice house.
Yeah, that's looks like a very old picture of my apartment complex. The move. One of the things I love that it did. I'm always
a background right behind you, huh? That's not a real room.
Yeah, right. Green screen. I was going to talk about this a little bit earlier, but like the use of micro commitments in your funnel, very, very, very powerful. So you can see here, like I don't put an email input field right here, what I do, look at that background. What I do is I get people to literally make a micro commitment by clicking this button, and then I ask for their email. So that's the exact same thing that you guys are doing here. And one of the things that I really enjoyed about it was that once I put my address in, it scrolled down automatically so that, you know, me as the consumer, I didn't have to scroll down to find this. So that's super good. When are you planning to move? Right now, name, email address. I'm assuming you guys need the name, just because of the personalization of real estate.
Yeah, I mean, it helps. At the end of the day, as soon as we have their address, I can reverse address search that and find out exactly who they are. But people find that a little creepy when you call up. Hey, I didn't get your name, number, or email, but I'm calling you real quick because I saw you entered your address.
Fair enough. Have you guys tested this? I'm curious, like, what the conversion rates are.
Oh gosh.
We have, this is brand new.
Okay.
So we haven't done a whole lot of testing. We got a couple guys. In fact, we got a couple guys that are testing this now.
Okay.
They've gotten some conversions from it. I just don't know how good it is.
Makes sense.
The idea behind it is that it's like we wanted to build something inside of ClickFunnels with the Google Map API, with the Zillow API. This won't work with an apartment complex. Jimmy just mentioned it here in the comments because Zillow doesn't, like, it won't return values. But if you were to
use 1850 Gratiot, Gratiot.
Right here.
Yep.
1850 what?
Gratiot, Gratiot.
Oh my God. This is gonna be like,
was it? Yep, there you go.
It's gonna be like $5,000.
Okay, right. No, this is the house I grew up in, so
that's nice. Nice house.
There you go.
I don't know if this button's working.
Shane, do you have it hooked up with the rest of it?
It should work.
Oh, there you go.
Is it gonna
Did it open?
Here we go.
Let's see what it says. Unknown. That's interesting because it just sold. So
that's super sleek, though. This once again, this customer journey. I was unable to pull the information. Want to get more info for your home. So what is this?
Well, yeah. So this you're basically looking at the share funnel right now.
Okay.
So typically, like in our videos and instructions, we basically tell people like, hey, like, get people into your chat. Like, this is one option you could do to get people into your chat bots, right? So if you want more information, then, you know, click this button, go into the chat, opt into the chat bot. And
what's the biggest point or problem that people who are trying to sell their home have? Like why are they opting this to see their home value, and where in the buyer's journey or the seller's journey is this? Probably early on, I'm guessing.
Well,
yeah,
like
this is early on.
Super early on.
Yeah.
I would say 12 months in advance.
Makes sense. I'm just trying to think because one of the things that we do with high ticket application funnels is once someone, you know, applies to work with us and schedules a call with us, we actually give them an opportunity to call us right away. Like on that last page, we'll literally say, hey, look, you know, spots are limited. Like if I'm working with you, done with you coaching or done for you, spots are limited. I can only take on so many clients. So go ahead and give me a call right now and we can start the conversation, even though you booked a call for a week out. And what that does is, once again, gets another micro commitment to where now we know if they're calling us, they're way more sold. They're going to go with us because that pain's big. They know that it needs solved right now. So I'm just wondering if that's something that you could, you know, that behavior you could mimic on this page to where create urgency and scarcity around the offer itself and get that seller to call the agent right away.
Absolutely. Yeah, true. And the other thing too, is you could use this funnel at different stages of that sales process as well, right? And if you can identify, you know, so for instance, you know, a lot of times what we'll do is we'll generate leads and then we'll try to convert them through, you know, email drips, and we'll try to convert them through chatbot drips and things like that, right? So you could use this funnel at other stages to figure out where they're at. So if they're willing, if you got them in from a different offer, and then you send them this offer to basically, hey, find out what your home's actually worth, just fill this in, super easy. Then if somebody fills that out, then you can figure out they might be at a different, you know, at a different point in their journey as they're trying to sell their home, right?
Makes sense. Yeah. And that's also the beauty of, segmentation, like really figuring out where they're at on the seller's journey. And if it's a more immediate thing they need to get solved, try to get them on the phone as quick as possible. If it's longer term out, yeah, have content that nurtures them leading up to the time when they're ready to pull the trigger. So
Absolutely. Yeah,
segmentation, massive.
for sure.
Makes sense. Pat says, thanks guys, gotta go, but super grateful for all the value provided tonight. Thank you, Austin, for all the value bombs.
Cheers,
Pat's
Matt.
leaving. We're only 2.5 hours into this. What's going on, Pat?
Also, Flex says, I watched Austin's high ticket funnel on YouTube. That's how I learned how to create a funnel.
Hey, cheers, Flex. Appreciate it, man.
Love it. Let's see here. Yep, there we go. Cool, we're caught up. Again, the question.
Okay,
is,
so,
I think people are
sorry,
just,
one question did come up, which is, I don't know if I can pronounce his name properly, and I'm really, really sorry about this, but Harjad? Is that how
the IDX integration.
The IDX integration question, it's twice now he's asked about it. We don't have IDX integration into ClickFunnels. I haven't seen IDX integration into ClickFunnels. IDX is really weird because, Austin, just so you know, IDX is a protocol that's been used by the real estate industry, which allows you to pull information on homes that are available for sale. There's licensing issues with IDX. It's very, very expensive. Each board has their own IDX as well. I think in the United States, there's 600 and over, there's over 620 boards with their own IDX right now. And each one of them costs money to get a license for them, or at least, and then you have to actually figure out how the data is stored. So there's nothing like that for ClickFunnels. You have to go to like iHome Finder or another service like that in order. But I think you can actually take that and then build iframes and put them into ClickFunnels, but it's not something we.
Yeah, he said he's heard people are doing it. I'm not doubting that there might be a couple people out there doing it. I haven't seen it yet. And honestly, I'm not sure that
really think it's that. And I honestly, like, a lot of people ask about this. I don't think it's that valuable.
Not for a funnel, right? Because the funnel's built to capture, right, and to sell. And I think the IDX is for after you've already captured and sold. Because you want once somebody's in your database, they've given you all their information, you're in contact with them, then they can have IDX access, right? Then they can look at all the houses that are brand new on the market right away. But otherwise, you're just giving that out to everybody. And for what you'd need to do it right, I don't think ClickFunnels would be the right platform. I think something like FirePoint's already been built, right? So,
well, even WordPress would be another. There's plenty of WordPress. Like off the top of my head, there's already 3 or 4 of them that I can think of. I use one for my wife, and there's Real Geeks has it. There's plenty of other platforms.
Yeah, Real Geeks would be another one. So I think there's software that's built for that. I think ClickFunnels. I don't think it would be the best use of ClickFunnels.
Yeah.
So
cool. Let's
jump back into Zillow and Opendoor real fast.
What's the Opendoor one? Did you send that over?
Opendoor, it's just opendoor.com.
Opendoor.com.
Which
my mom is watching.
They're absolutely crushing it.
Sorry.
Hello, Mom.
Hello, Mom.
Cool. Opendoor. Same thing. First thing I would recommend, once again, a funnel's a funnel because there's only one exit point, which is this right here.
Mm-hmm.
They come to a page, they do the thing, or they leave. And once again, take this with a grain of salt. These companies are doing great, but a page like this, if they're driving, traffic to it, have one exit point. I would say from a design standpoint, like this text kind of gets lost in this background image. Your background images on funnels should never take away from the offer and the copy itself. So background images can be used very subtly to enhance the design of a funnel, but they should never, ever take away from the copy and the offer. Get an offer on your home with the press of a button. I like that. It's super simple. It's quick. It's easy. Get an offer on your home. That's the benefit here. Enter your home address, sell your home to Opendoor so you can skip the hassle of listing, showings, and months of uncertainty. I would say the only thing I would clean up about this is, once again, I always want to frame the value that my audience is getting, that my consumer is getting. And this right here, it seems a little too salesy. The fact that they use their brand name here, and this is me getting like super nitty gritty minute, but just always be in tune when you're writing copy. Make sure that the value your audience is getting always is greater than what you're getting from them. That's one of the things that like will drastically increase your marketing, is just making sure that the value is above what you're asking for. Social proof, good. Same thing. I would say like, I'm just super basic. I mean, you guys saw my pages. Mm-hmm. I would literally, if they're sending people here who are interested in getting an offer on their home, I would literally just have this above the fold content. I think this is just overselling it. Someone who's selling a home is probably already a little bit educated about like, okay, the first thing I need to do is to get the value of my home. And that's exactly what this does right here. So I like to just keep things super, super simple. What questions you guys got? I know it's kind of the same as the last one.
Yeah, no, I mean, if somebody was going to recreate this, how would they do it better? Like if somebody wanted to go out and create their own something or other offer for,
well, I think part of it is just simplifying this entire thing. You can get lost here so quickly.
For sure. I was going to say what they should do is they should get the share funnel link from you guys, take this funnel, beef up the copy a little bit, and they'll be good to go.
Makes sense. Here's the other one that I've seen somebody try to create their own. I don't know if it's as good. Well, I know it's not as good because it's not open door or what they're doing. But there is somebody that tried to create their own funnel that I had seen not too long ago. Yeah. Cool.
Let me pull it up real quick. Also, how we doing? People still on here? Are they enjoying it?
Yeah, man. There's like 20 people still on. It's crazy. It's like I'm always shocked that people actually watch us for 2.5 hours.
Luke Shankula just jumped on too. What's going on, Luke?
Luke, what's up?
Luke was on like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
The easiest way to sell your home. From a design standpoint, really quickly, like bump this up. There's way too much space up here. So you can see the button almost gets cut off. Move everything up, as we talked about. Dumb bum test. What is it? How's it going to improve my life? And how do I get it? So let's see if this passed the test. What is it? The easiest way to sell your home. Sell your home with my rocket listing. It's a little ambiguous. Like I don't know what that really means. So that could be cleaned up a bit. How's it going to improve my life? It's going to allow me to skip the hassle of fixing my home, setting up showings, and avoid months of uncertainty. So the benefit's definitely there. And then how do I get it? This right here, like I typically like to say, I like to have direct, I'll be transparent. When I'm building funnel pages, I always like to assume my audience is dumb as a box of rocks. Mm-hmm. So like I always tell them exactly what to do. Right here, I would literally put like, put in your information down below and receive a free offer request or whatever that may be, whatever they're getting. So that right there, just a super simple fix that I bet would bump up conversions. This right here, as little as this seems, naming the video, the fact this is on YouTube, like super subtle fix. Use this as another place to like highlight a benefit. So one of the things I picked up from Dan Henry is like when he builds his digital courses, he always says that he needs to resell people that buy his courses. So he'll literally write headlines and hooks for his, like each lesson. Same thing with video titles, like the fact that this is embedded on YouTube. Use this as a place to highlight a benefit, like sell them further on why they should put their information in here.
Yep.
Super subtle, but just those little things. Once again, call us today. I would have this number linked. So like you can hyperlink this to actually, if you think about it, if the consumer's on a phone and they want to call you, what you're asking them to do is memorize your phone number and then go to their dial pad and dial that in, or
copy and paste it. It's like 5 steps.
Yeah. Or you could just hyperlink it on your funnel and then just click a button and call you. How it works, easy as 3, 2, 1 sold. 3, 2, 1, tell us about your home. I would say, this is something that the geeky marketer in me would actually split test, because 3, 2, 1, super counterintuitive. Like humans love the number 3. You'll see it across the board, 3 secrets, whatever, 3 tips, so on and so forth.
Yep.
But the fact that it's in reverse order, I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. Part of me says, oh, like cognitive dissonance, you're getting them to kind of, rewire how they're typically used to thinking, could be a good thing. But also humans love patterns. Humans love structure. So that's something that like, after I split the headline, yeah, right. Super subtle, but just something that once again I noticed. Watch the video to see what is it. Always be very specific. Like, what is it? What is the thing that they came to this page for? We're a team of licensed real estate professionals, local market experts, and we're here to help make selling your home stress-free. Get my rocket listing price. Benefits, our promise to you. One of the things that really helps on sales pages and like longer form content is, you have to think, I'm always thinking about how people are consuming my pages. Some people love to watch a video. Some people love to read text. Some people love to do both. Some people, the vast majority of people, here's what they'll do with your pages. They'll read the headline, they'll scroll down and read kind of the big, bold words. So what you want to do is make sure that the stuff that sticks out on your page tells a story. And that's why things like blind bullets here can really make or break a sales page. Mm-hmm. So would it be cool if I pull up an example and like, this is a phenomenal example of a sales page that tells a story, even if you just skim it. Is it cool if I pull it up?
Yep.
Cool. Let me, we might need a little banter as I pull this up. It'll take.
Okay. No worries. We need a little banter. All right. Banter. Let me think. No, I'm just kidding.
Banter.
Let's see if we have any questions.
Yeah. Questions.
Oh, man. I'm having a hard time focusing. This is what I drank today.
You and me both, man.
There you go.
You and me both.
It's getting rough. 10:30. It's always a good time though. Matt, we hop on these and we always wonder, it's like, okay, where's this going to go? Right. And then 2.5 hours go by and it's like, holy crap. So much information being exchanged here and stuff that is super valuable. And I'm hoping that people that are watching through all of this, fortunately tonight, Matt, you're not talking that much. That's a good, most of it is Austin. Other Whiskey Thursdays, got Matt blabbing for half of it. And we can see our numbers, go down. In fact, we just lost 2 people because
we see our numbers go down.
Cool.
So harsh.
I'm so harsh. Matt, I'm kidding, right?
Look at Mosey called it. He goes, Shane's drunk.
Guys, you haven't seen my keyboard. Like I think I got to go back to Costco tomorrow and say, listen, this computer.
I hope you have a warranty on that, Shane.
Oh, I just have to clean it. They won't know. They're not gonna look inside.
Fair enough.
They're not at Costco.
Not at Costco. You just bring it in. It's like, this thing's not working no more.
There you go.
Why? We're like, I don't know. I'm just dumb.
It just happened. Fix it for me.
Oh man.
Cool. So here's a great example of, once again, a long form sales page where if your audience is only skimming this, they get every little benefit of what this offer can do for them. So typically how I do this, and this might be a little bit rough because we've had some whiskey. I'm slurring words a little bit. I'm not the best speaker when I'm sober, but listen to how I do this. The amazing selling secrets of the world's #1 highest paid speaker. Discover the almost backwards selling secrets anyone can use to sell more of their products, from stage on a webinar, during a Facebook Live, even when selling in person. 9,000 people. I told them my fee. I want to make at least $1 million if I'm going to leave my family for a weekend and come speak. Instead of you paying me $1 million, what if I do your keynote for free? The deal was made. I wanted to net $1 million per hour. On February 23rd, 2018 at 10:30 a.m., I was scheduled to step out on stage. Nothing can prepare you for looking out at a sea of 9,000 faces staring back at you, all of them hoping you'll have some nugget of wisdom that'll change your life. 5 minutes and then you're on. Please help me welcome Mr. Russell Brunson. And then it happened. The next 6 hours was a whirlwind. $3.2 million. My net take home as a speaker was over $1 million per hour, officially making me the #1 highest paid speaker in the world. So you guys can see, I'm not going to go through the full thing, but like that right there, it is a great example of why design is also a great aspect of funnel building and sales copy, because you can use it to your advantage, thinking about how consumers are scrolling on your pages.
That was awesome. That was so cool.
Yeah. What a huge tip too. Like that is amazing.
For sure.
Jimmy said still love Matt. So I think that means he agrees with you that I just blab, because he says we still love him regardless. Thanks, Jimmy.
I love it.
But and, that's so cool, because like even if you're not reading that way when you're going through it, like your brain is.
For sure. And humans, the vast majority of people when they're reading a longer form sales page will skim it. And if they're interested in it, then they'll go back and read some of it or watch a video. So like you don't have to have a super cool design like Brunson has there. What I want to point out is use the design structure that someone like Brunson uses on his sales pages, his opt-in pages, to craft a story with your copy, knowing that not everyone's going to read a full sales page like that.
Yeah.
That's awesome, because it's almost like subliminal messaging, right? Where like things are flashing, your mind doesn't click it, your mind doesn't, or you're not aware of it, but your mind gets it.
Yeah.
And and something else too is because like a lot of your audiences are moving towards mobile, right? So a lot of this stuff is being consumed while you're on mobile, and it's just so like I find myself on mobile to always be scrolling constantly, right? You're there with your thumbs, and it's natural to do that. It's not the same on a computer. Like I find like on desktop, you will consume a little bit more, but the majority of us are on mobile. And so I think that's just kind of natural to like, okay, here's a sales page. I'm just going to flick through it really quickly, see if there's anything on there that I like.
Yep.
Right?
100%. Yeah. So once again, like call out specific benefits and pain points that really hit home with your avatar, so that once you hit home on them, then they'll scroll around, read other sales copy, look at your offer. Yeah. And it's just a way to, once again, like get your avatar to nurture themselves by reading more of your copy, essentially.
I love it.
Huge, man. That's huge. And that just means more work from Matt here to work on our sales pages and
there you go.
Everything else we need to put together.
More work that equates to more money.
Kevin says, I love being referred to as a human rather than an average Joe. Agreed, Kevin. Agreed. And then he said, hood job, Austin. Wait,
good job.
Fix it. He said, good job. Okay. Either one of them. Why not?
Kevin must be drinking some whiskey with us.
I love it. I love it. Let's see. Jimmy says, hashtag tell a story. Yeah. I mean, that's exactly what's going on. The more and more we talk about all of this stuff, the more and more I think like there's a way to do the webinar for the real estate client stuff.
Absolutely. So, I think there definitely is, but we're not going to do that on tonight's show.
I know.
I think we should wrap this up, guys. We're like 2 hours and
32 minutes in. 2 hours, 32 minutes and 4 seconds. No, I'm just kidding.
I think this is actually very close, if not the longest Whiskey Thursday we've had. 20 people still watching. Unbelievable.
Hey, as long as it's been valuable, that's all I'm here for.
Right. My biggest concern right now is that I'm almost out of wine.
and like we said, you guys, we pinned the comment, Sales Funnel Sharks. It's Austin's group where he does stuff like this all the time. That's how we found him, is he was doing a live just like this, having a drink and just going through funnels. And it was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. So yeah, be sure to check out the group if you're not already in there. And then let's see, Austin, what did you recommend is the best way to learn building funnels? Let's make that our last question. I think it's a great question.
For sure. Yeah. I think, once again, I'm always keen on learning with intention. So making sure that you're not learning just to learn, but making sure you're learning with a specific reason in mind. So if you want to learn funnels, go to 2comaclub.com, 2comaclub.com. Go find someone who is selling a similar offer that you're selling. And the reason that they're on that page is because they're a halfway decent marketer at the very least. Go through their funnels, go study their pages, go study their marketing, literally create a swipe file. Like I have a full bank of sales pages, webinar pages, headlines, emails that instead of watching Netflix, like I'll just go read those because I like to make money and impact people. And that's the way to do it. So just go study the people who are doing it and be always be in tune with the 80-20. 80-20 of copywriting. As we talked about first, go study headlines. Next, make sure that once again, those big, bold things on your sales page stick out. You could have shit copy on the rest of your funnel, but understand humans. And the best way to do that is just by studying the people who are doing it. So that's my 2 cents there.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
Okay, so I'm going to say something before everybody, like we're at 19 people now, right now. Before you take off, don't leave. We want to know who's still. Oh my God, somebody just left. Are you kidding?
Oh,
just wait till I'm done.
Tag the person that. Oh, we can't do that, can we? All right, never mind.
We want to know who's still watching, guys. If you're still watching, you've watched this far, just spend 2 seconds, pick up your phone and hashtag Trooper. We just want to know that you're here. We're going to call out your name here before we wrap this up. I do want to say, Austin, thank you so much for sticking around with us for 2.5 hours. Unbelievable content. This is going to be, I mean, this obviously stays in the group. It's going to be archived onto YouTube as well. I've learned so much here. I learned so much inside of your group. Guys, if you want to learn a little bit more about this, please support Austin here. Go join his group. Check out some of his content. Opt into all of his pages and learn the shit out of what he's doing, because he's one of the top funnel builders out there. And guys, if you've seen any comments inside the ClickFunnels group looking for a webinar guy, Austin's your guy. So make sure you tag him all over the place. We want to support him. Anybody that's been watching all this time, we love you guys. Thank you so much, everybody, for your support. I see people here. Flex has been watching. Mo, Toby, Hajar. I'm so sorry that I hope I'm pronouncing your name properly. Albert, Alina. Who else? I know Frank's probably still here.
Frank, Donald, Kevin, Jimmy. Yeah, we got a lot of people that are on here. They're loving it. It's a great stuff. Thank you guys for sticking around so much, and be sure to come back next week.
one more little thing here. Any last words of wisdom, Austin, that you can share with anybody?
Yeah, for sure. I think, we're all here to grow our business, market better, serve our people at a bigger scale. The best thing that you can do for your business is obsess over your customer, really figure out who you're serving. And like I said, just get an intimate understanding of what they're going through, what problems. And when you do that, your marketing, it doesn't matter about the funnels. It doesn't matter about all this other stuff. Your marketing overall will just become a lot better. So obsess over your customer, be diligent about serving them, and the rest will fall into place.
Love it. Love it. And Austin, are you doing your wine show tomorrow night?
We'll be doing Wine and Funnels at 5 p.m. tomorrow night over at salesfunnelsharks.com.
Eastern or?
Mountain Standard Time.
Okay, cool. I'll let you guys figure the math out. We've been drinking.
7 4 p.m. Pacific.
So sweet. All right. Thank you guys so much. And we'll see you next week.
Good stuff.
All right. Stick around. Let's see.
Are we done yet?
Yeah, I'm working on.
Are we done yet? The Zoom delays.
All right. There we go.